my crows, and welcome back to another reading. It's been a while, I know. I've been instructed by the universe to take a break and get everything else together. But now that I've got a little bit more of my life together, new setup, new place, new job, I think I'm about in the place that I'm comfortable to get back to readings. And so I'm coming back apparently with a bang. I was instructed to do 6 piles and a more unusual reading because I was pulled in it to do this for myself actually. And it is, if you saw the title, What Are You Lying to Yourself About? Which sounds kind of weird and accusatory, but hear me out. So, Spirit is asking us today to look into ourselves, look introspectively, and take an objective look at what we've been doing, how we've been living, how we've been pursuing our goals, people, relationships. Hello, Group 1, and welcome if you chose this Moss Agate Tower. And this is going to be a reading. Just going to set you right there. And today we're asking Spirit about what you are lying to yourself about. First, we're going to lay out your Oracle cards. Oh yeah, you got 2 of the Animal Spirit ones, so let's see. Got Kitsune, Wisdom. The Giveaway. Pink Quartz, which says love, open heart, kindness. Druid, hold the space. Nothing will come of the situation reversed. Would of course moon. Orange blossom jellyfish. Transparency. Oh, can't read that. Sensitivity, surrender, illumination. As well as polar bear. Solitude, friendship, strength, and resilience. Put that right there. You're the mom friend, aren't you, Group 1? All of this is telling me that you guys are just the most selfless, friendly, probably the more wise friend, but the one who everyone goes to when they need something, when they're out of money, when they need a ride, when they don't know what to do. Should I leave him? Should I go back to him? Should I get this tattoo? Should I go get this job? You know, everyone goes to you for that. And you are usually the one just kind of breaking your neck and giving out all of your knowledge, all of what you have for everyone else, selflessly, without even thinking, without even realizing it most of the time. You're just going and going and going. I feel like you're just kind of like, you think that you are being as vulnerable and as, God, what's the word? You think it's a symbiotic trait, essentially. In your mind, you're seeing it as, I'm giving all of my free time and all of my stuff and my time, energy, money, gas, knowledge to all my friends because I love them and they're giving me their love and their care, and it's fine. That's great. But I feel like it's not true entirely. As in, there could be more that you could be doing. Not for your friends, of course. You're already doing enough. But in the field of being vulnerable and letting them take care of you in the same capacity that you take care of them, you could definitely spare a little bit more care for yourself. For sure, Group 1. You are just this old, weary creature. The druid and the kitsune. Kitsunes, especially this one on the card, they get a tail every 100 years they're alive, and this one has 9, if I can count my dyslexic ass. But yeah, that one's got 9 tails, as well as the druid, old, weary, tired as he is. Like, God forbid someone give him a break and some care. I'm sure he's held space for himself for a long time and does his best in diffusing, taking care of himself all on his own, but it would be nice if someone threw him a bone or brought him in for some nice hot soup once in a while, you know. Yeah, I'm just... Hello, Yod. You're tired, for sure. I feel like you just need a good rest, relaxation, a spa day to be pampered for a good long while. Group 1. Someone by Group 1. A shot at the bar. Several. If you, or maybe don't encourage alcoholism. Definitely get yourself a spa day if you can. Take some time off. We're going to move these aside and get some cards for you. Off and we're shuffling the we're shuffling the Blanco Nero deck. One of my favorites. Maybe I'm biased because it's got my name in it, but you know. My cards together today. Yeehaw. That was a terrible shuffle. Can I get one more good shuffle, please? Alright. Group 1. Group 1, what are you lying to yourself about? Goodness. Group 1, what are you lying to yourself about? Group 1, what are you lying to yourself about? Seven of Cups on the bottom. Definitely got a lot going on. Nine of Swords in reverse. Two of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles. You're very much in your physical world. Yeah, you are doing a lot, but I feel like you're not resting a lot. It's Seven of Cups. I immediately wanted to say you weren't sleeping well. And that Nine of Swords is kind of echoing that. You're a very independent mover. You're very, like I said, loyal to a fault. You're there for everyone. You are the one people go to, the one that people know will always be there ready. You usually have a schedule together. You usually have a kind of way you do things, and people know it. People know how you work, how your systems go, and how you like things organized, or that you like things organized if they don't know your systems. And know that you'll get the job done well. Might take a little bit of time, might not be immediately, but you have like a I wanted to say the Liam Neeson quote, of a very specific set of skills. I will find you, and I will kill you. But yeah, you've got that kind of energy. You don't take no shit or no prisoners, but you also do not do harm. But I feel like you are kind of telling yourself that's enough. That you can just keep juggling stuff. Two of Pentacles is kind of it's always a juggling energy. Like, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I put something down? Should I do more? It's very much of a precarious energy, and you find yourself there often, and you worry about it. You think about it. You think, oh, it's fine. I'll deal with it. Oh, it's fine. I can keep going. Oh, it's fine. I'm not that tired. Oh, I can get over it. And you're just wearing yourself down to the bone and to a nub, and just ignoring the signs. You're very much the Monty Python character with his arms cut off. It's only a flesh wound. I can still fight you. You will be just a nub on the ground at one point, and you know you will not be able to fight back. But you were just like ignoring the inevitable. I feel like this pile is calling me out. This might be my pile, goddammit. Clarify the Nine of Swords, please, Spirit. Clarify the Nine of Swords for me. Clarify the Nine of Swords for me. Good, thank you. I've got the Six of Pentacles. Yeah. Also saw the Five of Cups. But I'm not gonna pick it up. Just want to show you. Clarify the Two of Pentacles. Thank you. Goodness, golly gosh. Get back here. I got the Five of Wands. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles for me, please. Okay, thank you. Got Judgment in reverse. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles for me, please. Thank you. Oh, goodness, golly gosh. All the cards are just tossing themselves. Oh. I got the High Priestess. Got the Lovers. It's at the bottom deck, for sure. Got it. Yeah, like I said. You're a person with an action plan, but also you know that this is not how you get to your goal. You just kind of are. I feel like you've gotten stuck in this cycle, probably from the Five of Wands, either opinions of other people, conflict with other people, having to pick up other people's slack is something I'm hearing either at work, and so it kind of bleeds into like home life and friendships and stuff, or in your childhood growing up you might have had to have been the dependable child and had to pick up slack and do more. You might have had to be the third parent who had to work a job or take care of siblings, and now you're very like good at babying and taking care of people, despite the fact that you shouldn't have to and don't need to, and these are grown people, and as much as yes, you can direct them and you can give them advice, you shouldn't be juggling their lives for them, essentially. I also get this sense that at one point, with the Judgment in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles, one second, I'm thirsty. At one point, this was like a barrier of yours of entry almost. Like, you weren't self-sufficient enough. And it led to your downfall, or it led to you backsliding. It led to hurdles in the road, essentially. And you don't want to slide. You don't want to backslide now, is what I'm getting. Like, you're afraid. This is like an underlying fear. Like, if I am not self-reliant, entirely self-reliant, then I'm just going to immediately just fall backwards and all my progress will be lost and it'll all be for naught. Just bad thinking, back to the Nine of Swords energy. But That's not true though, because you see, you've learned, you've got experience now. Those thoughts might still be there, and it sucks. Trust me, I know anxiety and doubt and worry and trusting people. Oh boy, that's a whole other slice of pie. But Six of Pentacles is saying that you have learned the skill. You know the knowledge. You know how to balance your time, your energy, your days, what you need to do, what you want to do, and your money. You've got your finances to a place, I feel like, that you've got the ability to properly budget and find and get money going. Or if you aren't in the place where the money is perfectly flowing and like you are stable, then you are able to budget and get things done still. You've gotten to the place where you are at least comfortably able to like figure those types of financial issues out and timing issues out. It's nothing that you have to worry about anymore. Like, you've just got the lingering dread, like, oh God, what if? But it's just residual. That's not a problem. And if you can get through that mind trap of, I'm going to mess up and I'm going to suddenly become the worst again, then you can honestly push forward and make really great progress, because it looks like you've got the choice ahead of you. You've got all the knowledge, the skills, the ability. And I feel like you've got, with this High Priestess, you've got all this potential, all this wisdom and knowledge inside of you. Again, with Kitsune and the Druid, very wise. I don't know how old you are, but you have an old soul, Group 1. But you've definitely got all this choice, potential, and ability to pave your own path, find the people who support and are in sync with you and what you want and need in life and want to see. And yeah, like, you've got it fucking made, man. I'm proud of you, Group 1. You're doing great. You just gotta get through that fear of being vulnerable, essentially. You're afraid of being vulnerable, and you're afraid that if you slip even a little, you're gonna destroy everything, which is just not true. Please, for the love of God, get to sleep. Alright. I'm gonna put this aside, Shay, and I'm gonna get some advice from Spirit now. Do you have any advice from Group 1, please? Advice from Group 1, please, Spirit. Advice from Group 1, please, Spirit. Oh, wait, okay. Group 1, advice, please, Spirit. Goodness, golly gosh. Advice from Group 1, Spirit. Alright. Just throwing everything. I got the Ace of Pentacles as your bottom deck, though, as I go collect the cards. Excuse me. Alright, I found them all. Like, 3 of them yeeted themselves either around my desk or just one went for my dresser. He was going for gold. And I was 7, so I asked Spirit for an extra card just to make it even. So you got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. A Chariot in reverse. Good. Darn it. Do not knock over the tripod. A 9 of Cups in reverse. A 4 of Wands. Get back cards. 6 of Cups. 10 of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Swords in reverse. For sure. Yeah. I feel like it's not that you aren't vulnerable. It's just that, like, it's periodic. And you because you're very much like I said, you're a go-getter. You are very much an action-oriented person. And Spirit's just asking you to slow down every once in a while. Like, you don't have to come to a complete stop, but take a step back at least and smell the roses. You've done a lot, you've built a lot. You may have gone from rags to riches, or at least like really lower income, poverty, homelessness even, to you've got a roof over your head, you are sheltered, you got food in your fridge, you know. It's the little things sometimes. I feel like you're, especially nowadays with like social media and just the way that our minds are geared towards looking at what we don't have instead of what we've built. With the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, it's like you're too busy looking at what you could have, what you still want, and what will come with this Ace of Pentacles. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna do big things, my boys. But the Queen of Pentacles is telling us that like you are already like a decked out, luscious 4-course meal right now, and your life is just all that in a bag of chips. You've got so much to marvel over, so much to be happy about, to celebrate. There's no reason to be so cold and sad. Be happier, find joy in your life. Spirit's asking you to just find the joy in every day and the small things and and just what life throws at you. You're not going to always have a great day. You're not going to always be doing the best. You might have a little less cash someday. You might be in some pain someday. You might have to go to work and not want to. You might just be in a bad mood, you know. Life happens. Shit happens. It's not always going to be the best. But just remember that tomorrow's another day. You'll move on. The sun will set and the moon will rise. And if it really sucked that bad, you can go, enjoy something that makes you happy. Just find something. Whether it's a little joy or going out of your way to do something specifically to pick yourself up and treat yourself. I cannot stress enough, treat yourself. Or just celebrating the little victories. Or if you really do need to shut down. I'm not saying that you have to go out and make friends with everyone and your grandma. But I'm saying instead of breaking your back for everyone, and then when they ask if you need anything, you just be like, nah, I'm good. Don't be afraid to ask for something. Don't be afraid to get your back scratched back. You don't have to be the strongest one, the last one standing. You can be weak and vulnerable too. It's fine. No one will hurt you for it, and no one will think any less of you. Alright. I'm going to get one card from the Inner Child Oracle deck real fast, just to wrap up our reading. Oh, I know what deck I was supposed to do. Where's my... Yeah, hold on. Okay, I lied. I have one more deck to shuffle after this one. It's the Cards Against Humanity deck because I love getting oracle messages from this deck. Obviously. But we're shuffling this one. Alright. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, group 1, go to sleep. Alright, group 1. Can I get any advice for group 1, Spirit? Advice for group 1, please, Spirit. Alright, advice for group 1, please, Spirit. Alright, got the Sun Tree in reverse. Got warmth, connection, and life. Nature offers our souls unlimited nourishment. Today, feel the heat of the sun on your skin. Speak to a tree, or marvel at the sounds of the river. Dig your toes into the rich earth and feel yourself connected to the world around you. I'm surprised I read that all the way through without flinching. It's upside down. But yeah, like I said, You expend a lot of energy for everyone else. You extend this warmth and care, compassion, and zealous for life. Zealous, zeal. I speak English sometimes. But you don't extend that same energy to yourself. And the bottom deck is the no reversed. You don't set boundaries for yourself. You don't allow yourself space and care and the environment to just breathe and be okay. And you need to go hug a tree, go on a walk, go have some peace, go meditate, stretch, do yoga, take a bath, self-care, book a spa day. Just take care of yourself. Just go outside and feel the sun, whether it's 7 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, no judgment. Just stretch. Think of a few things that you're grateful for. At least like 6, because 6 is a great number. And bask in that energy for a little bit. Thank the source and universe that you are here and alive and awake, moving on for another day. Because that brings all sorts of opportunities towards you that you have yet to even see and realize into existence. Alright, let's get a couple cards from the Vanity deck, and then we will stop. God fell out of the deck, just saying. So yeah, thank the universe. Give a good blessings and thank you and love and light and ashe to the universe, God, or whatever deities it is that you worship or believe in. Alright, can I get cards? Group 1. Can I get any dice for group 1, please? Dice for this one, please. Let me find the dice and messages for group 1, please, Spirit. Goodness, thank you. Advice and messages for group 1, please, Spirit. Alright. Thank you. That was 6 exactly. Hold on. Good. That was 6. Alright, this is the only one that's upright. No, there's 2 other upright. So we got an ugly face in reverse. Actually taking candy from a baby. Third base. You might want to get laid. Like, if you're a teen or a youth, I'm neither condoning or condemning the actions, but otherwise, you know. Stranger danger. Yeah, I feel like you'd have a gentle caress of the inner thigh in reverse. The Kool-Aid Man in reverse. And your bottom deck is my genitals in reverse. So, group 1, I feel like you're a little bit pent up. But also, I'm just saying, you could definitely use some self-care, self-attention, spoil yourself, treat yourself, make yourself feel like royalty. Even if there's no one else to take care of you. Honestly, if your friends are that selfish, get new friends. But Tinder came to mind because an ugly face in reverse and stranger danger, that just immediately read Tinder. So maybe try finding some friends or, you know, whatever you're looking for on Tinder. There's people there. I'm sure there's someone for you. I'm sure you could have a good time. Sometimes it's just nice to have a new experience. You never know. You might actually find someone who you think's kind of nifty. Excuse me. Don't be afraid to take time or energy for yourself. Don't be afraid to say no to someone. If someone needs something but you just don't have the energy, the money, the whatever, just don't be afraid to say no, and no is a complete sentence. You don't have to no because, no I have to, just no, I can't. Move on. Whether that's someone needs something from you, or work wants to call you in, or hey, do you want to hang out? Just, it's no shame, and just no thanks. You are obligated towards nothing. Alright, I think that's all I've got for you guys today. Group 1, thank you so much for tuning in to this reading. Make sure you leave a comment if you on any topics that you might want to see. I'm always taking suggestions. Like this video, subscribe to this, share with a friend if you want. Check out my private readings and my social media, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, Group 2, and welcome. If you chose this piece of honey calcite, one of my favorite pieces. This is going to be your reading, and today we're asking Spirit about what you are lying to yourself about. What needs to come to light, what you need to, get your stuff together about. We've got 2 of the magical creature cards. I can never pronounce the name of the deck. I'll put it in the description. But, we've got Demon with Chaos. And, oh dear. I'm going to turn that around and see if I can try to pronounce it. Well, the keyword is virulence. Olgoy Korkoi. I probably pronounced that wrong. It looks like it might be Russian. I'm not sure. And that is a fire sign card. 2 fire signs, actually. They're both fire signs. So you might be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Very possible. You got the Journey in reverse. Sacred Sisterhood. And it says, connect with your soul sisters to uplift and inspire each other. Got the Water Guardian in reverse. It says, connect with your emotions. Nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable Moon in reverse. And the Red Squirrel in reverse. It says resourcefulness, vigilance, preparation, and busyness. You see, my dyslexic self, I almost read vigilance as virulence, which is interesting. I actually don't off the top of my head, really. Virulence. Don't really know that word. Give me 1 second. Okay, so yes, I did stop to look it up, and I was correct about what I assumed. Virulence is like, and it's referring to like pathogens and how infectious you are and how like able to spread and cause damage you are. So, very interesting spread of cards we've picked for you, Group 2. I feel like you've been in a spot where you think that, well, I'm getting 2 different readings, and I'm not sure which one applies more to you. So, take whichever messages are resonating. With the chaos and the virulence in reverse, I feel like you are uncertain on why things aren't working out in your life. And it might be right in front of you, honestly. It's either that you are causing this issue by ignoring the signs, by ignoring your emotions, by going opposite of what the path is supposed to be. Like maybe your gut's pulling you in one direction, but you're like, instead I'm just gonna go this. Or if everyone's telling you, hey, maybe that's not a great choice, you're like, whatever. Especially with the Sacred Sisterhood, I feel like there's people around you that care or trying to give you advice maybe, and you're like, they're not telling me the truth. No, they're trying to mislead me. Am I wrong? No. It's the people that are wrong. And it's kind of definitely putting you, it's making your wheels spin, is what I'm getting. Or, the other reading I'm getting is there is a person in your life, someone around you, probably someone close with the water guardian in reverse. And with red squirrel, they might be someone who takes a lot of your time. They might be a partner, a friend, family member, etc., who you are failing to or ignoring seeing red flags and signs that they are meddling, they are causing more issues than they're solving. That, you know, that they're kind of, they might have been put on your path in your life for a reason, to show you certain things, to help you get past certain patterns and learn lessons. You know, the universe does that a lot. It's great. We love that. But there might be signs that have been pointing towards, okay, it's time to end it. It's over. It's nice. It's been fun. It was good for the moment, but let's go. And you're just kind of like ignoring the flags, ignoring the signs, and just kind of barreling through still. And you're confused on why things are now suddenly lighting on fire and things aren't going right, and you're confused and your emotions are all over, and etc., etc. Even though you, your spirit team, your friends, and old man Jenkins down the street can all look at you and be like, yeah, I can see where the fire is. It's right there. And you're like, what fire? Dora the Explorer style. Can you find the fire? Yeah, it's here. Please use your eyes. But yeah, both of those are very possible, and we will clarify that with some tarot cards right here in just a second. So let's slide these off to the side. Interesting. The lovers fell out like that. So very much might be someone who you are very connected to in a partnership with. Or that might just have to refer to, yes, the choices you are making. Because the lovers is also all about choice. All about decision making. Water. I'm parched. Group 2. Sorry, keep bumping the camera. Group 2. What are you lying to yourself about? What is group 2 lying to themselves about? What's group 2 lying to themselves? Okay. Alright. That is group 2 lying to themselves about. You're getting a lot more cards than the last group. The last group we could barely pull any. Hello, thank you. Got the High Priestess on the bottom deck. So I got the feeling that this is definitely something that you are aware of. I'm getting a lot of gas and throat problems. So maybe definitely something you need to speak to someone about. Speak about, get emotions and thoughts out about. Maybe you need to journal. Maybe you just need to vent to someone trustworthy. Okay, you are sideways, so I'm going to have to drop you again. Alright, so we've got the Knight of Swords with the first card to pop out. And then the Queen of Wands also fell to the floor. And the Wheel of Fortune wants to be upright. King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, goodbye to you too. I thought the devil was going to come out. Since y'all three fell on the floor, I have no idea how you want to fall, so. Eight of Pentacles reverse. Slide to left too. Devil reversed. Got the Two of Wands. And the Seven of Wands. And the last three cards, we've got the Six of Cups. The King of Swords. And the Seven of Swords. And in the bottom deck was the High Priestess. A very interesting spread. Just give me a second to read some of these over. This is definitely something that you've thought about. Like, it's not that you haven't considered whoever this is or whatever this is. It's not like, I feel like you're aware that you're lying to yourself. I'm trying to say. Whatever it is that you're lying to yourself about, you know it. You're a smart kid. You're a smart person. I call everyone kid, sorry, but you're a smart kid. You know what to do. You have fought bigger beasts than this. You have dealt with worse things than this before. I feel like you probably didn't have the best, didn't even interpret this like, but immediately as I began to say it, you probably didn't have the best family life, childhood. Might have had some trauma, some less than stellar parents and family, especially paternally. I'm getting authoritative parent, father specifically, and or issues with authority, and you've had to fend for yourself, fight, and deal with stuff before. Trying not to swear. I forgot that YouTube is stupid, but you have the mind capacity and ability to get through this, to suss out people and judge who's a good character, who is not going to be a good fit, etc. And you're also pretty, like, you're not cool about it, though. Like, I'm getting with this Queen of Wands and the Two of Wands. It's kind of like, even when you're not sure about someone, even when you are just on a trial running them, you're very nice, you're charming, you're sweet, you're kind, you're welcoming, you're like mi casa es su casa, you know. You're very much the welcome host, and you're very friendly. You don't turn people away. You are voted most likely to give the shirt off your back. And it's worked out relatively. You know, you've had some good, some bads, it happens. Some people are less great than others. But overall, you've learned with time and experience how better to protect yourself. Not to, like, be guarded, but more be protected. Not to immediately just be super vulnerable and tell all your emotions and your trauma and, hey, I just met you. Now, do you want to hear about that time when I was 7 and this happened? You know, let's not just dump all that on people. I feel like that's an important lesson for you to have. With that being said, I also feel like with this learning of lessons and in this experience, you may have picked up either, and this is where those two, like, up until now, the two paths from the Oracle messages were pretty much the same, give or take. But I'm thinking that the difference is either you have picked up these bad habits from your childhood, whether because you're processing them and you're dealing with them still. I know it happens to the best of us. Definitely went through a phase like that. Or conversely, you have let someone in your life come in with that same energy of, like, authoritative, greedy, super controlling, super demanding of time, money, attention, etc. This King of Pentacles in reverse is really giving me the energy of someone who is, you've allowed them in your life and you've allowed them such a permanence to stay because they remind you of that time. They let you almost kind of relive it in a way, like not as in like they're treating you exactly one for one how maybe your abusive or shitty family was, but maybe they exhibit some of those behaviors and maybe they kind of remind you or allow you to be like the person you were back then almost. They allow you like to not change is what I'm kind of trying to say. Like they allow you to stay stagnant and allow you to kind of like sit in that energy and stay there. It's almost like 4 of Cups instead of 6 of Cups because they're kind of facilitating you not moving forward. They're facilitating you staying in the past. They're facilitating you like almost like the best example I get is like if they're trying to play like mock therapist, where they're getting your emotions out of you, they're getting you to trauma dump, maybe that you trauma bonded. That might have been something like you guys have a similar experience, similar trauma, similar childhood upbringings, and you understand that, or they understand that, and they may have used that, and or the fact that you guys bonded over that means that you kind of feel like you just gotta keep going, or they might try to keep pulling it out of you. I don't know. That's kind of the message I'm getting here with the 6 of Cups and the King of Pentacles in reverse. But also with the, like I said, with the 8 of Pentacles reverse, it's not really amounting to anything. Like I feel like in this time with this experience, instead of just kind of reverting back and being in this energy of the good old days, quote unquote, you could have been growing towards this King of Swords. And I feel like in a way you are growing towards this King of Swords. Like, it's not that these skills that you're learning, it's not like these experiences that you're having aren't making you like develop and grow. You are learning and growing, and you are retaining this knowledge and information, and it will help you develop as a person. And once you get through this hurdle, once you get this truth out, it will be easier for you to actually like grow, develop, put these skills to use, get help if you need to, if you are, especially if you went through trauma, you're mentally ill, you need help, you have any addictions. I don't know, that just came out, but maybe the devil reverse, yeah. You might have to be dealing with thoughts of addiction or relapse, possibly. But I feel like once you either A, if it's you doing these unhealthy behaviors, like you and only you, it's not someone else, then kind of reflect, look at what you're doing, and realize, and maybe if you need to get help, because I know it's hard to do it on your own, talk to a therapist, talk to a friend who you trust, confide in someone, journaling is fantastic, but really reflect, be introspective. Meditation might be really helpful to see how you've been acting, behaving, treating people, and the effect it may have, and how it makes you feel, and how you think, and why you're doing this. Kind of keeping track of that and being more mindful can help you actually turn your emotions and your actions around and into something productive and helpful. And on the other hand, if it's a person, I'm really getting that the majority it's a person, but I feel like that first message is still applicable. Don't get me wrong. But on the other hand, if it's a person, I'm saying that because the 5 of Wands and the 7 of Swords, that's usually like an outside influence. But it can also be inner conflict, which is why I'm like, look, whatever resonates. But if it's a person, you've got to figure something out with them. Either you have to talk to them, get to the bottom of things, work something out, get to an arrangement, or you gotta let them go. Because if they're not gonna be helpful, they're not going to join you and support you and listen to what you're saying, and when you say, hey, I don't think this is healthy, or hey, I don't think this is working out, or hey, maybe we should see each other a little less often, or hey, I need space, anything like that, and they can't support you, and they're not happy for you, and there's a difference between, damn, that sucks, but I understand, and how dare you, I'm so sad, why are you leaving me? That's two different ballparks, you know. So if they can't support you at the very least, then you probably don't need them in your life all that much, really. They were better off going out the door anyway. Excuse me, taking drinking. Oh yeah, for sure. Wow, a lot of big energy. Pile number 2. Wow. Okay, let me get a couple of cards of advice. Spirit. One card for this Inner Child Oracle deck. Spirit. Group 2. What advice do you have for Group 2, Spirit? Okay, thank you for knocking over one of my crystals. Do you want me to take all 3? Yes, okay. Yeah, the bottom deck is the Inner Voice in reverse, and I will read it because they want me to read it. Cannot read that upside down, sorry. So the bottom deck is Inner Voice, Self-Talk, Subconsciousness, and Patterns. The way we talk to ourselves matters deeply. If you have drawn this card, then it's time to examine your self-talk. What are the words you speak to yourself? Are they full of love, grace, and acceptance? If not, how can you change that today? So definitely I feel like you may have been telling yourself that what you've been thinking has been healthy, it's been good, it's been helpful, or what this person's been telling you has been helpful, it's been necessary, you need them. Or you may have even lulled yourself into a pattern of some unhealthy thinking, or like a semi-healthy thinking pattern that slowly morphed, kind of like a slowed down, a decline, you know, where you thought you were like a, you know, when someone slips back into a habit like that, where you're like, oh, I'll just do it one time, or I'll just do it twice. Now it's 4 times, and suddenly it's, oh, I'm back on it every day. Whoops. You know, that kind of behavior. I feel like Spirit's asking you to examine yourself and look from a third point of view, especially if you need to, if you're not able to get objective enough from the fray, to examine and make sure that you aren't just letting yourself backslide and letting yourself be lulled into an unhealthy situation, whether of your own design or someone else's. So we've got the Cosmos, and I will read all 3 of them once I get them laid out. The Sacred Ritual in reverse. And the Meditation. Definitely need to meditate. Okay, so Cosmos. Boundlessness, direction, and creative force. The night sky holds many a wonder, some that we can see with our eyes, and some that we can only know with our hearts. Take time today to connect with the cosmos. Go stargazing, read about the lunar cycles, or study astrology. In the Sacred Ritual, not read upside down. Dedication, wonder, and reward. Rituals can be of great worth to us. They help move our consciousness forward into the present moment, grounding us into who we are and who we can become. Try committing to 7 days of a new ritual, no matter how big or small. And meditation, visualization, inner realms, and the mind's eye. Take time today to meet with your inner child. Close your eyes and see them with your mind's eye. Regardless of the state they are in, embrace them, listen to them, and provide them with unconditional love today. Yeah, for sure. You've definitely been slipping up on the self-care, slipping on the if you are someone who's a little spiritual, or if you are someone who had like a self-care routine, you may have definitely laxed up on that. And if you are a spiritualist, I'm definitely imploring you to meditate. You and me and your spirit team are imploring you. Please meditate. Also take a break, because I just yawned suddenly. Rest yourself, yes. You might have had some pursuits, creative pursuits, don't know why I just said that. It's so weird. Creative pursuits that have been backburnered for whatever reason. Or maybe just because you felt like stuck, stagnant, unable to pursue your goals, even though you've got all of this potential and all this mind power in front, in your hands, all this creativity and all of this knowledge. The only one who's stopping you is you, really. And the belief that you have to stay in this situation, this mindset. I feel like you need a routine for sure. You are in need of routine desperately. Get yourself a routine together. And have it include at least a little bit of time outside, a little meditation, or at least some mindfulness, some stretching, and some self-care. And some time for fun. Don't forget fun, because I feel like we neglect fun, and then we try to make up for it by like binging TV shows or like God, what was I gonna say? Substance use, yeah, that's one of them. Drinking is the first one to come to mind. But also, if you have a big dependency on any drugs, hard drugs, weed, anything, just maybe ease up on that. Try to enjoy yourself a little sober. Find other ways to have fun. Play a new game, have a new experience, try a new hobby. Do something, remind yourself of all the fun and joy in the world and how intelligent and creative and interesting you are. The only thing that really stops you from doing anything is you. You limit your situations. Alright, and we're going to get a couple Cards Against Humanity cards just to round out the reading. Alright. Group 2. Give me a couple cards for Group 2. Advice for Group 2, please, Spirit. Advice for Group 2, please, Spirit. Alright. Cards for Group 2, Spirit. Awesome. Interesting choice. So your bottom deck is 2 midgets shitting in a bucket, which I feel like is a accurate summary of how you feel / have been treating yourself. You are the bucket. You should not be the bucket, but you are quite feeling like the bucket. You've got a gentle caress of the inner thigh, Gogurt, trademark, queefing in reverse, and my soul. Definitely a plea from your spirit team and universe to just more self-care, more meditation, more time for peace and relaxation and fun. God, bring fun back to your life. Enjoyment. That inner child is yelling. The Gogurt. And the fact that you got 3 inner child cards when I asked for 1. Honestly, a gentle caress of the inner thigh. Another group got this, and I read it as intimacy, but I'm feeling for this one that it's more like self-love. Remember the things about you that are lovely, and find things that are cute and pretty about you. Yeah, especially with queefing in reverse. If it was upright, I would have gotten maybe like an intimacy thing, but like maybe you need some time to yourself, your thoughts, and get your thoughts aligned. And worry less about the physical. I feel like you worry a lot about the physical. Maybe it's because of, like I said, past experience and circumstances, and also, I mean, money is tight, I understand, but I feel like sometimes you go a little bit off the deep end with it. Oh, get your feet on the ground in some dirt. Excuse me. Get your head on a pillow. Absolutely. Okay, I think that's about all I've got for you guys. Thank you so much, Group 2, for tuning in. Make sure you like this video. If you've got any reading suggestions, leave them down below. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, so yes, I did stop to look it up, and I was correct about what I assumed. Virulence is like it's referring to like pathogens and how infectious you are and how like able to spread and cause damage you are. So, very interesting spread of cards we've picked for you, Group 2. I feel like you've been in a spot where you think that, well, I'm getting 2 different readings, and I'm not sure which one applies more to you. So, you know, take whichever messages are resonating. With the chaos and the virulence in reverse, I feel like you are uncertain on why things aren't working out in your life. And it might be right in front of you, honestly. It's either that you are causing this issue by ignoring the signs, by ignoring your emotions, by going opposite of what the path is supposed to be. Like maybe your gut's pulling you in one direction, but you're like, you know, instead I'm just gonna go this. Or if everyone's telling you, hey, maybe that's not a great choice, you're like, whatever. Especially with the Sacred Sisterhood, I feel like there's people around you that care or trying to give you advice maybe, and you're like, they're not telling me the truth. No, they're trying to mislead me. Am I wrong? No. It's the people that are wrong. And it's kind of definitely putting you, it's making your wheels spin, is what I'm getting. Or, the other reading I'm getting is, there is a person in your life, someone around you, probably someone close with the water guardian in reverse. And with red squirrel, they might be someone who takes a lot of your time. They might be a partner, a friend, family member, etc., who you are failing to or ignoring, seeing red flags and signs that they are meddling, they are causing more issues than they're solving. That, you know, that they're kind of, they might have been put on your path in your life for a reason, to show you certain things, to help you get past certain patterns and learn lessons. You know, the universe does that a lot. It's great. We love that. But there might be signs that have been pointing towards, okay, it's time to end it. It's over. It's nice. It's been fun. It was good for the moment, but let's go. And you're just kind of like ignoring the flags, ignoring the signs, and just kind of barreling through still. And you're confused on why things are now suddenly lighting on fire and things aren't going right. And you're confused and your emotions are all over, and etc., etc. Even though you, your spirit team, your friends, and old man Jenkins down the street can all look at you and be like, yeah, I can see where the fire is. It's right there. And you're like, what fire? Dora the Explorer style. Can you find the fire? Yeah, it's here. Please use your eyes. But yeah, both of those are very possible, and we will clarify that with some tarot cards right here in just a second. So let's slide these off to the side. Oh, okay, interesting. The lovers fell out like that. So very much might be someone who you are very connected to in a partnership with. Or that might just have to refer to, yes, the choices you are making. Because the lovers is also all about choice. It's all about decision making. Okay. I'm getting me a drink The last group we could barely pull any. Hello, thank you. Got the High Priestess on the bottom deck. So I got the feeling that this is definitely something that you are aware of. I'm getting a lot of gas and throat problems. Maybe definitely something you need to speak to someone about. Speak about, get emotions and thoughts out about. Maybe you need to journal. Maybe you just need to vent to someone trustworthy. Okay, you are sideways, so I'm going to have to drop you again. Alright, so we've got the Knight of Swords with the first card to pop out. And then the Queen of Wands also fell to the floor. And the Wheel of Fortune wants to be upright. King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, goodbye to you too. I thought the devil was gonna come out. Since y'all three fell on the floor, I have no idea how you want to fall, so. Eight of Pentacles reverse. Slide to left too. Right. Five of Wands upright. And the Devil reversed. Got the Two of Wands. And the Seven of Wands. And the last three cards, we've got the Six of Cups, King of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. And the bottom deck was the High Priestess. Very interesting spread. Just give me a second to read some of these over. This is definitely something that you've thought about. Like, it's not that you haven't considered whoever this is, or whatever this is. It's not like, I feel like you're aware that you're lying to yourself, is what I'm trying to say. Whatever it is that you're lying to yourself about, you know it. You're a smart kid. You're a smart person. I call everyone kid, sorry, but you're a smart kid. You know what to do. You have fought bigger beasts than this. You have dealt with worse things than this before. I feel like you probably didn't have the best, didn't even interpret this like, but immediately as I began to say it, you probably didn't have the best family life, childhood. Might have had some trauma, some less than stellar parents and family, especially paternally. I'm getting authoritative parent, father specifically, and or issues with authority, and you've had to fend for yourself, fight, and deal with stuff before. Trying not to swear. I forgot that YouTube is stupid, but you have the mind capacity and ability to get through this, to suss out people and judge who's a good character, who is not going to be a good fit, etc. And you're also pretty, like, you're not cool about it though. Like, I'm getting with this Queen of Wands and the Two of Wands. It's kind of like, even when you're not sure about someone, even when you are just on trial running them, you're very nice, you're charming, you're sweet, you're kind, you're welcoming, you're like mi casa es su casa, you know. You're very much the welcome host, and you're very friendly. You don't turn people away. You are voted most likely to give the shirt off your back. And it's worked out relatively. You know, you've had some good, some bads. It happens. Some people are less great than others. But overall, you've learned with time and experience how better to protect yourself. Not to like be guarded, but more be protected. Not to immediately just be super vulnerable and tell all your emotions and your trauma and, hey, I just met you. Now, do you want to hear about that time when I was 7 and I this happened? You know, let's not just dump all that on people. I feel like that's an important lesson for you to have. With that being said, I also feel like with this learning of lessons and in this experience, you may have picked up either, and this is where those two, like up until now, the two paths from the Oracle messages were pretty much the same, give or take. But I'm thinking that the difference is either you have picked up these bad habits from your childhood, whether because you're processing them and you're dealing with them still. I know it happens to the best of us. Definitely went through a phase like that. Or conversely, you have let someone in your life come in with that same energy of like authoritative, greedy, super controlling, super demanding of time, money, attention, etc. This King of Pentacles in reverse is really giving me the energy of someone who is, you've allowed them in your life and you've allowed them such a permanence to stay because they remind you of that time. They let you almost kind of relive it in a way, like not as in like they're treating you exactly one for one how maybe your abusive or shitty family was, but maybe they exhibit some of those behaviors and maybe they kind of remind you or allow you to be like the person you were back then almost. They allow you like to not change is what I'm kind of trying to say. Like they allow you to stay stagnant and allow you to kind of like sit in that energy and stay there. It's almost like 4 of Cups instead of 6 of Cups because they're kind of facilitating you not moving forward. They're facilitating you staying in the past. They're facilitating you like almost like the best example I get is like if they're trying to play like mock therapist, where they're getting your emotions out of you, they're getting you to trauma dump, maybe that you trauma bonded. That might have been something like you guys have a similar experience, similar trauma, similar childhood upbringings, and you understand that, or they understand that, and they may have used that, and or the fact that you guys bonded over that means that you kind of feel like you just gotta keep going, or they might try to keep pulling it out of you. I don't know. That's kind of the message I'm getting here with the 6 of Cups and the King of Pentacles in reverse. But also with like I said, with the 8 of Pentacles reversed, it's not really amounting to anything. Like I feel like in this time with this experience, instead of just kind of reverting back and being in this energy of the good old days, quote unquote, you could have been growing towards this King of Swords. And I feel like in a way you are growing towards this King of Swords. Like, it's not that these skills that you're learning, it's not like these experiences that you're having aren't making you like develop and grow. You are learning and growing, and you are retaining this knowledge and information, and it will help you develop as a person. And once you get through this hurdle, once you get this truth out, it will be easier for you to actually like grow, develop, put these skills to use, get help if you need to, especially if you went through trauma, you're mentally ill, you need help, you addictions. I don't know, that just came out, but maybe the devil reverse, yeah. You might have been dealing with thoughts of addiction or relapse, possibly. But I feel like once you either A, if it's you doing these unhealthy behaviors, like you and only you, it's not someone else, then kind of reflect, look at what you're doing, and realize, and maybe if you need to, get help, because I know it's hard to do it on your own. Talk to a therapist, talk to a friend who you trust, confide in someone, journaling is fantastic, but really reflect, be introspective. Meditation might be really helpful to see how you've been acting, behaving, treating people, and the effect it may have, and how it makes you feel, and how you think, and why you're doing this. Kind of keeping track of that and being more mindful can help you actually turn your emotions and your actions around and into something productive and helpful. And on the other hand, if it's a person, I'm really getting that the majority it's a person, but I feel like that first message is still applicable. Don't get me wrong. But on the other hand, if it's a person, I'm saying that because the Five of Wands and the Seven of Swords, that's usually like an outside influence, but it can also be inner conflict, which is why I'm like, look, whatever resonates. But if it's a person, you've got to figure something out with them. Either you have to talk to them, get to the bottom of things, work something out, get to an arrangement, or you gotta let them go, because if they're not gonna be helpful, if they're not going to join you and support you and listen to what you're saying, and when you say, hey, I don't think this is healthy, or hey, I don't think this is working out, or hey, maybe we should see each other less often, or hey, I need space, anything like that, and they can't support you, and they're not happy for you, and there's a difference between, damn, that sucks, but I understand, and how dare you, I'm so sad, why are you leaving me? That's two different ballparks, so if they can't support you at the very least, then you probably don't need them in your life all that much, really. They were better off going out the door anyway. Excuse me, taking drinking. Oh yeah, for sure. Wow, a lot of big energy. Pile number 2. Wow. Okay, let me get a couple of cards of advice. Spirit. One card for this Inner Child Oracle deck. Spirit. Group 2. What advice do you have for Group 2, Spirit? Okay, thank you for knocking over one of my crystals. Do you want me to take all 3? Yes, okay. Yeah, the bottom deck is the Inner Voice in reverse, and I will read it because they want me to read it. Cannot read that upside down, sorry. So the bottom deck is Inner Voice, Self-Talk, Subconsciousness, and Patterns. The way we talk to ourselves matters deeply. If you have drawn this card, then it's time to examine your self-talk. What are the words you speak to yourself? Are they full of love, grace, and acceptance? If not, how can you change that today? So definitely, I feel like you may have been telling yourself that what you've been thinking has been healthy, it's been good, it's been helpful, or what this person's been telling you has been helpful, it's been necessary, you need them. Or you may have even lulled yourself into a pattern of some unhealthy thinking, or like a semi-healthy thinking pattern that slowly morphed, kind of like a slowed down, a decline, where you thought you were like when someone slips back into a habit like that, where you're like, oh, I'll just do it one time, or I'll just do it twice. Now it's 4 times, and suddenly it's, oh, I'm back on it every day. Whoops. That kind of behavior. I feel like Spirit's asking you to examine yourself and look from a third point of view, especially if you need to, if you're not able to get objective enough from the fray, to examine and make sure that you aren't just letting yourself backslide and letting yourself be lulled into an unhealthy situation, whether of your own design or someone else's. So we've got the Cosmos, and I will read all three of them once I get them laid out. The Sacred Ritual in reverse. And the Meditation. Definitely need to meditate. Okay, so Cosmos. Boundlessness, direction, and creative force. The night sky holds many a wonder, some that we can see with our eyes, and some that we can only know with our hearts. Take time today to connect with the cosmos. Go stargazing, read about the lunar cycles, or study astrology. In the Sacred Ritual, not read upside down. Dedication, wonder, and reward. Rituals can be of great work to us. They help move our consciousness forward into the present moment, grounding us into who we are and who we can become. Try committing to 7 days of a new ritual, no matter how big or small. And meditation, visualization, inner realms, and the mind's eye. Take time today to meet with your inner child. Close your eyes and see them with your mind's eye. Regardless of the state they are in, embrace them, listen to them, and provide them with unconditional love today. Yeah, for sure. You've definitely been slipping up on the self-care, slipping on the if you are someone who's a little spiritual, or if you are someone who had like a self-care routine, you may have definitely laxed up on that. And if you were a spiritualist, I'm definitely imploring you to meditate. You and me and your spirit team are imploring you. Please meditate. Also take a break, because I just yawned suddenly. Rest yourself, yes. You might have had some pursuits, creative pursuits, don't know why I just said that. It's so weird. Creative pursuits that have been backburnered for whatever reason. Or maybe just because you felt like stuck, stagnant, unable to pursue your goals, even though you've got all of this potential and all this mind power in front, in your hands, all this creativity and all of this knowledge. The only one who's stopping you is you, really. And the belief that you have to stay in this situation, this mindset. I feel like you need a routine for sure. You are in need of routine desperately. Get yourself a routine together. And have it include at least a little bit of time outside, a little meditation, or at least some mindfulness, some stretching, and some self-care. And some time for fun. Don't forget fun. I feel like we neglect fun, and then we try to make up for it by like binging TV shows or like God, what was I gonna say? Substance use, yeah, that's one of them. Drinking is the first one that comes to mind. But also, if you have a big dependency on any drugs, hard drugs, weed, anything, just maybe ease up on that. Try to enjoy yourself a little sober. Sure, and find other ways to have fun. Play a new game, have a new experience, try a new hobby. Do something, remind yourself of all the fun and joy in the world and how intelligent and creative and interesting you are. The only thing that really stops you from doing anything is you. You limit your situations. Alright, and we're going to get a couple Cards Against Humanity cards just to round up the reading. Alright, from group 2, give me a couple cards for group 2. Advice for group 2, please, Spirit. interesting choice. So your bottom deck is 2 midgets shitting in a bucket, which I feel like is a accurate summary of how you feel / have been treating yourself. You are the bucket. You should not be the bucket, but you are quite feeling like the bucket. You've got a gentle caress of the inner thigh, Gogurt, trademark, queefing in reverse, and my soul. Definitely a plea from your spirit team and universe to just more self-care, more meditation, more time for peace and relaxation and fun. God, bring fun back to your life. Enjoyment. That inner child is yelling. The Gogurt. And the fact that you got 3 inner child cards when I asked for 1. Honestly, a gentle caress of the inner thigh. Another group got this, and I read it as intimacy, but I'm feeling for this one that it's more like self-love. Remember the things about you that are lovely, and find things that are cute and pretty about you. Yeah, especially with queefing in reverse. If it was upright, I would have gotten maybe like an intimacy thing, but like maybe you need some time to yourself, and your thoughts, and get your thoughts aligned. And worry less about the physical. I feel like you worry a lot about the physical. Maybe it's because of, like I said, past experience and circumstances, and also, I mean, money is tight, I understand, but I feel like sometimes you go a little bit off the deep end with it. Oh, get your feet on the ground in some dirt. Excuse me. Get your head on a pillow. Absolutely. Okay, I think that's about all I've got for you guys. Thank you so much, Group 2, for tuning in. Make sure you like this video. If you got any reading suggestions, leave them down below. And I will see you in the next one. Hello, Group 3, and welcome. If you chose this pink quartz, then this is your group. And we are asking Spirit today about what we are lying to ourselves about. So first, let's get our oracle cards laid out. So we got, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Fuath, Malice in reverse. Got the Rattle in reverse. We got 2 of the Moon Oracle cards. We got Pyrite in reverse. It's Confidence, Luck, and Prosperity. And Labradorite. Wisdom, Intuition, and Divination. Got Animal Guardian, Trust Your Instincts. What do you need to release? Waning Moon in reverse. And Eagle. I knew someone was going to get this card. The eagle has just been bouncing around in my head all week. I do not know why, but I was like, one of these groups is going to get that card. But yeah, here you are. You are lucky contested, Group 3. Excuse me. I feel like you're kind of you're definitely lying about, it's kind of twofold. It's kind of, to yourself, you're kind of propping yourself up to a standard that is almost unachievable, and very unforgiving of yourself for anything less than exact perfection. Your expectations are kind of ridiculous. And I feel like you're not really sure where these came from. You just kind of follow this dogma, this almost like a ritual, almost just you have to do this, and you have to do this, you have to go like this, and you have to do this by this time, and this at this amount. I feel like it's gotten so ingrained in you as a habit that you don't even notice that you can't even break it anymore. And I feel like it also, the second way is like it makes you very kind of stubborn. Like you are a good person, and you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge and information to share, and a lot of sorry about that. But as I was saying, it's kind of like you're very stubborn to a fault in your ways and your habits, and to the point that you're almost unwilling to hear other opinions because you don't want things to go wrong. You're afraid of things go wrong. And it makes change, criticism, learning, growing, expanding your horizons kind of hard. Even though you want to, even though you have the information and the ability and the urge to, it's just kind of like you start spinning your wheels because you're like, what if, and you start worrying, you start getting concerned, you get stuck. You have you kind of like, you have the urge to go, but every time you get the urge to go, you also start stopping yourself, like, what if, or oh no, this is gonna happen, or what are they gonna say in response, etc., etc., etc. Well, it's like, it doesn't matter if it's working for you, if it's what you want, need, what you are pulled towards, and it's not harming anyone, then why does it matter? Just go with it, go for it, take a leap, chance, try. Worst case scenario, you mess up, you have to try again, you have to do something else. Oh no, you've experienced something, you've learned something. Everything's a learning experience, everything's a chance to absorb new information, and messing up is not the end of the world. Messing up is kind of the spice of life, honestly. A lot of the great inventions and discoveries of the universe and the world have come from messing up, like chocolate chip cookies. We wouldn't have those delicious motherfuckers if a mistake wasn't made. Just saying. Yeah, definitely need to let go of the need to have kind of iron grip control and know everything that's going to happen all the time, anytime. And having just the, it's not like you're afraid of the reaction of everything, and also kind of like afraid of your reaction. Even though if you actually thought about it, slowed down, and went into yourself and like introspected, you understand your reaction and you could measure reaction better. I feel like you might also be kind of averse to introspection. Labradorite's a very third eye, crown chakra type crystal. It's very much all of the spiritual wisdom kind of crystal. It's very flashy. It's this one actually. Hello. I love this one. It's very pretty. But it's very much a crystal where at some angles it might just look very plain. But that's just because you gotta look at it at a different angle or a different light. And that's kind of what the world is like. Alright, so I'm gonna get some cards for you now. Get that to the right. King of Wands in reverse. So yeah, see, you've got all this power, direction, energy, ability. You're just, oh, it's like almost like you're afraid to utilize it. Okay, where did that one card go? Hello. I'm back here. Got the Lovers. Awesome. So we've got the Emperor in reverse. Two of Wands in reverse. The Lovers. Three of Pentacles in reverse. We use these to expand. Got Justice. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. The Ten of Pentacles. The Tent of Pentacles. And the Six of Wands. Yeah, this definitely is building on that. I feel like you hold yourself to this Emperor energy, and it's not great for you. Look, the Emperor is a great energy. Don't get me wrong. It's all the best kings, all the kings bundled into one. It's all the best divine masculine energy. It's stability. It's control. It's power. It's very big paternal energy. But I feel like you're almost double tripling down on that, and only in like the ways that you know and understand and you like are comfortable with. Like you're keeping yourself in a specific box. Like, this is my box of understanding and strength and power. This is my domain. This is like the hill I'll die on, essentially. You have picked your hill, you have sat upon it, and you are like, this is my hill, I am king of this hill. And no one can get me off my hill. And it's mostly just because you like being right. Like, you're very much big fish, little pond energy. Like, you know that here you are king. You won't be challenged. Your reign won't be. No one else will best you. You are supreme in what you know and what you're secure in and what you are comfortable with. I'm right. You're wrong. Shut up. Kind of. But it doesn't really leave a lot of energy for expansion, for growth, for learning and new experiences. Getting with both these two, then Two of Wands in reverse, Eight of Pentacles in reverse, but also the Three of Pentacles reverse. Specifically, the image card is, if you didn't see, guy watering plants. There's 3 seeds, and then he's watering them, taking care of them, tending to them, you know, growing them. And it's very much indicative of kind of the energy you're in. Like, you are limiting yourself. You have all this opportunity ahead of you, all this potential, all this knowledge and energy, and you also have this desire to grow and expand. It's like it's not even that you don't want to. Like, with the King of Wands in reverse and the Pyrite reverse, like, this is all signs. The Rattle reverse, you hear the signs. You feel the call to bigger. You want to dream bigger. You've got big dream, big inspiration, big ideas. You've got all sorts of paths you could follow, and you've got all this latent skill that you haven't even discovered, that you could develop, that you've barely even scratched the surface of, that you could begin to improve and master and even bring to a point of skill that you could even like teach other people. But I feel like you're just afraid to take that first step, or you're afraid of the messing up aspect. You're afraid of, like, what if it doesn't work out? What if I can't do that? What if it doesn't build me an empire? What if I don't get recognized for it? And Spirit's answer is, and what if? If you choose it and you like it, it brings you joy, then you will find abundance along the way. It doesn't have to be your whole breadwinner. I feel like there's this, especially nowadays, there's this pressure, this idea that we have to, like the whole, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. I love that, but large asterisks. I feel like there's just a huge emphasis on you have to make all of your hobbies monetized. You have to make all the things you enjoy monetized. If it's able to be made money off of it, you should be. And like, that's a suffocating fucking feeling. I get it. I hate that. But you don't need that. You really do not. You don't have to be the king of everything. You don't need to know everything, because having knowledge means that you know that you'll never know everything. There will always be infinite knowledge out there. There will always be more things to learn, more experiences to have, people who know better, who've lived a completely different life, who have specialized in something their entire existence and are just have an affinity towards it. There will always be just another leg up, and you will never be just the master of all. And you need to get that idea out of your head that you can master all. You can enjoy things. You can explore it. I'm not saying that you can't explore things. You can't have a finger in a bunch of pies. That's like my favorite thing, is just learning new skills and exploring new avenues and all the different things. There's so many cool things out there. Hobbies, skills, experiences, all sorts of things out there that are just so, can bring such a full view of life, a fuller grasp of humanity, and just a fuller experience to you and the people around you. And it shouldn't be limited to just what can make you rich, what will get you exposure, what will make you recognized or famous. I thought of BoJack Horseman. I got that when he was saying, I think it's season 2, when he got nominated for an Oscar or whatever, or season 3. Yeah, that was the Oscar one. And he was saying that when I get an Oscar, I will be remembered. And his friend was like, and then what? He's like, and then that's it. I'll be remembered. And it was kind of like that existential crisis energy of like, even then, that's all he wanted. He didn't even know why. He just wanted to be remembered. And it was like, okay, and remember, you got your name as an Oscar, and that's all you want? I don't think it's going to fill the hollowness. And then cut to the end of the season, where Sarah Lynn genuinely wins an Oscar, and she has that same experience. Literally, she has that moment of elation, and then has an existential crisis. You don't want to end up like that. And I don't want you to end up like that. You've got all this potential and all this energy and all this power. So focus on just doing what you want and figuring out how to get yourself stable. Figure out how to build that wealth, build the repertoire you need, build those skills, build the connections, and from there the path will be laid out. You'll start finding things that you like, start finding things you're really good at, start finding things you want to specialize in. It'll just start feeling more natural the longer you go at it, and you'll stop worrying about it as much. You'll be able to just kind of trust your gut and go with the flow, and it'll just be natural after a while. Group 3. You just need a little pat on the back, man. You got it. Keep on some. Card from the Inner Child Oracle deck for some advice. Group 3 for Spirit. Group 3. What message do you have for Group 3 Spirit? Hello. Alright. Interesting way to throw yourself out. Okay. Yeah. Your bottom deck is the Adventure. I'll read it real quick. Exploration, apprehension, and fulfillment. Today is the day to try something new. Explore just for fun and be a bit more daring. Do not let apprehension keep you from your new adventure. That feeling will fade, but the wonder that is to be found will surely not. I mean, TLDR on what I just said, I guess. Alright, and the card you got was the Weeping Tree in reverse. And I cannot read upside down, Spirit. I do this every time. Release, rejuvenation, and restoration. Now is the time to let go of that which does not serve you anymore. Free the pent-up energy within you. Breathe deeply and let your body relax fully, merging with space and time. Let it all die so that you may blossom once more. So yeah, you're definitely hanging on to this energy of control. It might be something that was kind of instilled in you from a young age or from a past relationship. That Emperor in reverse, there might have been, parental, specifically paternal energy that was kind of overbearing and very do this, do that, be specifically this way, do specifically that, and you didn't really get to think for yourself or explore those avenues of fun and adventure and what you were really curious about and what you could have been really good at. But now it's time to let go of that. You're not that anymore. If you're still in that situation, I'm sorry. Very unfortunate, and my apologies. But the fact is that you can think for yourself, and there are ways around that. And whether you are in that situation still or not, I feel like the majority of you aren't in that situation still. That's what it's saying. It's like, this was past. This was before now. You're past this, and you're just, like, that energy still kind of hangs on you, unfortunately. I understand. But, like, it's easier said than done. Definitely, if you need, there are professionals, contact professionals, and reach out to your support group, friends, family, loved ones who care for you and you can trust in and confide in. Or genuinely, there are helplines and resources out there for you. But you are not limited by what someone else believes that you are or what you can do. You are your own person, and the only one who can stop you from doing something is you. Pretty much. And, laws, but if there's no cops, it's not illegal, You didn't hear from me. Alright, gonna get you some cards from the Cards Against Humanity deck to round out our reading. Group 3. Let's go. Can I get some advice for Group 3? Hello? Alright. A couple more cards, please. Alright. Anything else? Yep, there we go. Yeah. Your bottom deck is a can of whoop ass. I feel like this is what you need to bring to the table. You've got it. You just left it on the shelf. Got cobwebs and dust on it. It's alright. It hasn't expired. We got the Kool-Aid Man. Kids with ass cancer in reverse. Batman in reverse. And third base. Definitely. Yeah, you need more fun. I feel like you've definitely outgrown the stage of being in pain and actively suffering. And you've definitely grown into your own person. You're growing into you could be a very fun, open person if you, I feel like, just let loose a little bit more. You don't need to be saved. Get the idea out of your head that someone needs to rescue you. You are your own rescue now. You are Bruce Wayne and you are Batman. You are both. You are all of them. And you're Alfred, because, frick, Alfred's the best, honestly. But definitely have more fun. Experience more. Explore more. Get out of your comfort zone. Just get out of your comfort zone and assert yourself a little bit more. Take a chance, because I feel like you're a lot more fortunate than you give yourself the credit for. You've come on some unfortunate times in the past. Everyone comes on hard times. Life never stops throwing hard times at us. The day life stops throwing curveballs will be the day that hell freezes over. So you just gotta grin and bear it and figure out your path along the way. You gotta find the people who will support you and the people who will look out for you, while also looking out for yourself and understanding that every up has a down, and even though it's gray now, it'll become sunny again eventually. You just gotta keep your head up and, you know, keep optimistic. It won't always be great, but we'll be alright. Alright, I think that's all I've got for you guys. It's group 3. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like this video, leave any suggestions for readings in the comments, and check out my social media, or if you'd like a private reading, check out the description as well, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, my old ass. How long? Hello, Group 4, and welcome. If you chose this labradorite sphere, I love this crystal. It's my first big crystal sphere, the first of many. But this is your group. And today we are asking Spirit about what you are lying to yourself about. I just want to mention that I am very out of breath already, and damn near knocked everything on my desk over just a second ago, starting up. So, yeah, we'll see if that's indicative of anything. Let's see what we got. We got Olitiao, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but Expanse. Oh, goodbye, alright. The Rainmaker, I'm assuming it wants to be upright. Waning Gibbous in reverse. It says turn inwards. Huh, that's a typo. It says turn inwards with a V. Never noticed that. I've gotten that card a few times, and it's the first time I've noticed. Maybe you're the perceptive person, you're like very much the person who notices like the little details and little changes, and very big Virgo energy. Let's see, we've got Shield Maiden in reverse. I've never actually seen this card. Make plans and focus. We've got 2 Moonology cards. We've got Believe in the Impossible in reverse, Blue Moon. A win-win outcome is forecast, Full Moon in Libra, reverse. And Golden Orb Spider. It's Messenger, Balance, Awareness, Design. Very interesting. You've got a lot of power, but I feel like you haven't even realized the half of it. Because you don't even realize half of it. I feel like you underestimate yourself a lot. Like, you're very perceptive and wise. Both with me noticing that typo. And just all of these energies are such big energies. Blue Moon. It's like you dream, you have dreams. Ideas, thoughts, grand ideas, grand, you're very much a big thinker. You have the desire to do big things, and judging on just this, you have power to do big things. I just feel like you doubt it. You're like worried that, I don't know, that you can't, that you won't live up to expectations, that you won't do enough, that you won't do it right. I feel a lot of doubt, like a lot of self-doubt here, which is really unfortunate because this, you feel very powerful, like, especially since you are drawn to the labradorite crystal. This is like my, like I said, this is like my first big sphere that I use for channeling and scrying. And labradorite is a crystal of intuition, of it's like very third eye, crown chakra energy. So the fact that you got that one and got this one card that's a very rainbow, which is kind of like encompassing all of your energy. And these colors actually are very much almost balanced. You give me the energy of someone who's very powerful, very magical. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the Magician. I'm getting that card very strongly, but I feel like you're just like unsure of yourself. You doubt yourself. You feel like you wouldn't be enough, or that even if you are enough, someone will do it better. Someone's already done it. It's not original. It's not unique. Well, like, who cares? If you enjoy it, if it's good, if it's something that makes you happy, it doesn't matter if it's the best, the number one, the first. It's yours, and it's something you're proud of, and you love it, and those around you will support you. I feel like especially there is either a friend, a close confidant, or family member, a loved one, someone who is very dear to you, who would definitely always be cheering you on no matter what. It might be just one person, it could be a little, like a squad of people, a little posse you have, but there's definitely people who are in your court. I just feel like sometimes you forget about it, or you get so wrapped up in your thoughts. It's very Virgo energy, very Nine of Swords energy too. Thank you so much, Mr. Leafblower-Man, for appearing suddenly. I love you, but yes, you are very in your head and too much worried about what ifs and doubting yourself that you do the analysis paralysis thing and you get stuck in executive dysfunction. You might have ADHD. I'm not sure, because I definitely have ADHD, and my brain is also going A, B, C, D right now. So, like, yeah. Alright, we're gonna move on to reading cards. Let's get this out of the way, and hopefully Mr. Leafblower will stay down the street. There he is. Please. Please. God damn it. Great, he's gone. Now, where was I? Group 4, we were shuffling cards, yes. Get myself back together. Speaking of ADHD, getting interrupted by literally white noise. Okay. There's group 4 lines of themselves without spirit. Not thrown a card shuffling like that before. Awesome. Alright. Got the 4 of Wands as our bottom deck. Now let's collect our Fallen. The Knight of Wands, the 6 of Swords, the Fool, and the Star in reverse. Yeah, I knew it immediately. You don't celebrate your victories yourself. You've come a long ways. Grown, you've changed, you've improved, you've become someone who can stand for themselves on their own. What is this? It wants to show itself. 10 of Pentacles reverse, yep. You don't acknowledge what you've built. I feel like you've really come a long way. You've moved on from something. You've healed, grown, changed, learned, you've expanded your horizons and looked past the things that held you back, whether it was from like past experiences, relationships, trauma, childhood, but whatever it was, you've grown. I especially see that there might have been a there was a time where you felt like very stuck somewhere, or stuck in a mindset, stuck in a situation that you couldn't get out of. And you've worked past that, gotten out of that, but you're still feeling like you are in that mindset. Like you feel like you're still that person. You feel like you are still like at square one, even though you're like 30 steps ahead. Like the Knight of Wands, he's passionately charging in. He might not know all of what he needs to know. He might not be the most experienced, but he'll go out in a blaze of glory, defending what he believes in, doing what he feels right. And I feel like that kind of energy, that bravado, has gotten you pretty far, and it's helped you power through some of your darker days, your worst hours. It's helped you, especially when you're afraid. Like you're a very anxious person. I'm very fidgety right now and keep shuffling around. I only really do this when I'm anxious. But you have swallowed your fears and kind of taken that jump and that initiative many a times in various situations in your life, and it has taken you farther than you could have hoped. You have grown, you have progressed, you have been brought new opportunities, and you have been able to, I feel like in some cases, even face fears and conquer things that you were dreading doing at one point in your life, just because you were able to just kind of like muscle up, you know, and shoulders back, head up, you know, chin up, and just pretend, fake it till you make it, essentially. And I feel like you don't congratulate yourself for that enough. You don't really take the time to be like, dang, you really did that. Damn, you're really strong. You really take no shit and do no harm. I feel like you are that kind of person who's like, if you're not attacking me, if I haven't done anything to you, you haven't done anything to me, I'll mind my business. I'll stay in my lane. I have nothing against you. Sometimes that might get some people to be like, wow. And very, you know, upset, a little bit slighted, you know. But if that's how they feel, that's on them. You are minding your business, doing you, trying to figure it out one day at a time, essentially, one foot in front of the other. If they can't tolerate that, that's on them. But really, I feel that you see yourself still in this mindset, in this position of, I haven't changed. I'm this person from this many months ago. I'm this person from back when I was in this relationship. I'm this person from back here, or I don't deserve this praise, or I haven't gotten that far. Like, a random message that came to me is if like you were on a health journey, a body positivity, a body changing journey of any kind, you know, like a diet, exercise, fitness journey, you know, anything like that. And you've been at it for a few months, and you're not really, you've gained muscle or toned up, or, you know, clothes are fitting a little different, but you're not seeing it. Like, people have told you, maybe you've even taken pictures and you put it next to each other, but it's kind of hard to see. It's very hard to get that subjective reality. I mean, objective reality when you have that subjective mindset, especially if you've struggled with insecurity, self-consciousness, body dysmorphia, any sort of, you know, anything in that field. God forbid, an eating disorder. Hearts go out to you. Alright, we're gonna get some clarification. Done rambling. Can you clarify the Knight of Wands for me, please, Spirit? Thanks, thank you. Six of Wands in reverse, yeah. Exactly that. Can you clarify the Six of Swords, please? Clarify the Six of Swords, please. Thank you. Princess of Wands. You're very fiery. You might have very strong fire in your charts. You can clarify the Fool for me, please. Okay, bye. Alright, I'll take them both. I'm doing them so violently. So you've got the Hermit. And Temperance in reverse. Yeah. Clarify the star, please, Spirit. Clarify the star, please. Clarify the star. Thank you. Got the Four of Cups in reverse. And, the Ace of Swords is your bottom deck. Definitely echoing what I just said. I feel like this Princess of Wands is where you were before. This Page of Wands energy of more immature, impulsive, kind of just going after the next thrill, the next fun thing, the next adventure. And that might have gotten you into some, you know, less than stellar situations, maybe some less than pleasant crowds. I feel like this was a time in your life where you were a lot less introspective, a lot more. Like, you might have been younger, you know, this might have been you like a few years ago, fresh out of high school, or fresh out of college, or going into high school. I don't know who's watching this. Whatever applies to you. You, younger, dumber, less experienced, kind of just fumbling through life. Take your victories where you can. And that taught you things, you know. It took you some time to mature. It took you some time to figure things out and learn. And you have to stumble and fall and to figure out life. I mean, this is mirroring a couple piles. If you were called to watch another pile, you might want to look back and check it out. I'm not going to tell you which one, but there was definitely a pile that sounds exactly like this. Yeah, you had to trial and error to get through, essentially. You're the kind of person who'd rather learn by experience than be told a lesson and just have to take someone's word for it. Which, understandable. That's a lot of young people. That's very much a common thing of being told not to do something and then doing it anyway and having to figure out, oh, no, they were right. I was just, you know, having a problem with authority or something. I also feel like these experiences helped you kind of look inwards, look at yourself and reflect and see what it is that was driving these actions. And it kind of, the more you looked at it, the more you examined yourself and your behaviors and what you're doing and why, it made you kind of consider, do I want to be doing this? Is this the crowd I want to be around? Is this the behavior I want to be in and out of all the time? Is this really how I want to be living? And that kind of sparked the idea. Ace of Swords, well, I didn't think about that, but yeah. But it sparked the idea of you to just distance from that, to turn another way. I really think that you went through a period maybe of either being isolated or feeling isolated, like if not being completely alone. And, you know, when you feel alone in a room of people, I feel that you went through a period of that very heavily, and you just, it caused that introspection. You had to. There was no choice except for facing the facts, facing your fears, facing the things you were running away from and ignoring, which may have been hard. I mean, it sounds like it may have been hard, and I hope that you are / have gotten help for this, and I'm sure that it's not easy, and you know that in every day that you're not going to be perky and happy and it's going to be working out, but you roll with the punches, take your victories where you can. I've gone like 3 different ways in this direction, I mean in this reading. But really I'm just trying to get, with the Four of Cups in reverse, I feel like you're just turning around this energy. You were in this dejected kind of lower, not lower, but like, you were somewhere where you were in like a muted emotion almost. You were just floating through. riding the waves and kind of just doing things on impulse, on emotion, without even registering it, without even thinking of why, and letting your emotions kind of pilot your life. And you've taken back control of your life now. You're putting, it's not mind over heart, but you are kind of weighing the weight of each. You're not just going off of like the fiery emotion. You're not going off of I'm really sad or they upset me or blah blah blah. You're taking a step back and taking those emotions like, okay, but then also here's the situation. Here's what's actually happening. Let's think about it. Let's step back for a second. Then let's attack accordingly. Much more strategic. It's given Sagittarius. Very good energy, which Temperance is Sagittarius. So, makes sense, makes sense. Okay. I think that's about all I'm going to get out of those. So I'm going to get you some advice. One card of advice for group 4, please. Spirit. Advice for group 4, please, Spirit. Thank you. We got the journey home in reverse, which I will read here in just a second. Bottom deck, we have the stillness. Before I read this, I'm going to take a sip of water. Delicious. The stillness, quiet, peace, and confrontation. To stay busy is to stay distracted, something that can help us survive our pains and troubles, but does nothing to heal them. Though it may be daunting, take the time to be still. Let the silence envelop you. And learn to just be. Yeah, that's the blessing you've had, is to stop just reacting and just stop, breathe, think, take a time out if you need to. The Hermit is all about taking time to yourself, being alone. You might have even had to distance yourself from some friends, some people, some loved ones who were a little bit too involved, who were a little bit too clingy and needy, you know. Not that, you know, wanting to talk to you and be around you is bad, but sometimes you need some space, sometimes you need some you time, you know, a little distance, a space to meditate, to woosah, or just exist, be your own company. Alright, let me read this journey home. Rest, comfort, and security. Our inner beings long for us to reside as one. Take time today to rest into who you are. Your body, your soul, and your heart. Place your hands on your chest. Breathe deeply and allow your mind to envision the home within. Absolutely. Need for more meditation, more peace, more self-care, more space. I feel like if you haven't had like home security, there might have been a time where you might not have had a lot of privacy, a lot of space to yourself. Maybe you had like a lot of family members, a lot of roommates, a lot of you lived in a college dorm room or something, you know, situations where you didn't get to really be yourself, have privacy, and now you've kind of gotten that space to yourself. You've got that time, you've got that allotted me area or me time, the ability to do this, and you're kind of like, I don't know what to do with this anymore. I've got all this time to me, I've got all this ability to just do what I want. And again, analysis paralysis, you kind of like dial up sounds, unsure of what to do. So, excuse me, but if you are having that issue, then definitely just take time to figure out what it is that you want and need in a space like that. Whether it's like comfort, you want some like a soft area to sit, do you need a desk, do you need headphones, music, do you need to be completely alone, do you need to just have like music on or like headphones on even if someone else is in the room, do you need to not be bothered, spoken to, do you need to be outside, inside, you know, get these things together, figure it out, maybe make a list. You don't have to do it all at once. You might have to, especially if you've been a little bit less self-involved in the mindfulness check-ins, knowing what you like, what makes you tick, etc. It might take a little bit to collect some of this information and figure it out. But making little notes to yourself, journaling it, would be really helpful. So you can really take care of yourself and put yourself in the best environment that'll make you happy, healthy, and thrive. Maybe you can, what do you call that? Confer with some good close friends or family who know you. Alright, gonna get some advice for you, Group 4, to round out the reading. Oversized lollipop. Treat yourself, Group 4. Figure out what it is you want, whether it's, you know, something sweet or whatever it is that makes you happy. Do something good for yourself for a change. I feel like you haven't in a while. Got Altar Boys. A live studio audience. Self-loathing. I could have sworn there was a sixth card. Maybe I'm just dyslexic. Kids with ass cancer in reverse. I think the last week got that card. And being a dick to children in reverse. Be nicer to yourself, Group 4. Very much hold yourself to a standard, a need to perform. Even if no one's looking. And it's kind of like you're worried someone's going to catch you off guard, slacking, or God forbid, taking care of yourself and not prioritizing everyone else's well-being. Like, you feel guilty for taking care of yourself. Why? I feel like it might be, like I said, past relationships, past trauma that you are still healing, still dealing with. My regards, I understand it happens. Definitely, if you're not speaking to a professional about it, I recommend you start journaling about your thoughts, your feelings, about what it is that's making you anxious, worry about this, and unable to relax in this. Because this is like something you really need clarity on. If you want peace, if you want to be the most abundant and successful you can be, I want you to be doing that, but you can't do that if you're beating yourself up for literally everything. And expecting yourself to always be on your tip-top best behavior and ready to be on call like Kim Possible. You're not Superman. You don't need to do it. Take a nap. Take a break. Take a day off work. Capitalism won't miss you for a day. Fuck your boss. Doctor's order. Take a nap. Take a rest. And take care of yourself. Mind, body, and spirit. Whatever that means to you. I mean, please don't, like, chug down a bunch of McDonald's or something. That's not self-care, but, like, however you take care of yourself. whatever makes you feel self-care, because I feel like you have like a very specific. I'm really getting Virgo energy, not just because I got the Hermit. Like, you are very like particular and specific about things. It might just be because of experiences and what you've had to go through, and now that you have the chance to be like particular, it's like I'm gonna take it, understandable. But like, you've got a way about you, and I mean, go for it. Don't let anyone shame you for it. If it's how you like it, that's how you like it. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, I can't diss it. That's about all I've got for you, Group 4. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Make sure you leave a like on this video, and if you'd like to get a private reading, check out the description, as well as for my social media. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Hello, Group 5, and welcome if you chose this Monet Jasper Tower. Fun little piece. This is your reading. Move that out of the way. Excuse you. Awesome. This is your pile. If you chose that crystal we're talking about today, what are you lying to yourself about? I'm all sorts of just discombobulated speaking right now. And also, I would like to note just a weird thing. So, every group got an extra card for its oracle cards, pretty much. And you weren't an exception, but you are an exception in that when I picked up that card, Spirit told me, put it back. And I was like, okay, sure. So, I don't know if you cut yourself short or something in your life was not allowed to go to fruition, or if you just underestimate yourself, don't see / haven't seen your full potential. But that was just a strange thing that happened. It was very much a strong, like, I was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, take only the first one. I'm like, okay, if you say so. Only Group 5? Love. I love you, Group 5, I'm sorry. But, here we go. Got a Nancy story in reverse. Got Middle World in reverse. Balance. Recognize and accept light and dark within you. Mountains in reverse. Stand your ground. Balance spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces in reverse. And Python. Discernment, detachment, transformation, and renewal. You're a very patient person, Group 5. You've been not able to speak out of turn a lot in life. Like, you've had to hold your tongue many times, whether it's because of conflict of opinion or because of just controlling people, situations, circumstances. But you have a very vivid inner world that hasn't been properly expressed to those around you. Mostly because, well, A, those around you haven't really deserved it, and B, situations around you haven't really been, what do you call that? Appropriate? Conducive, there you go. Conducive to you speaking your message. There is a word I'm looking for, jeez. And that might also be something you struggle with, is putting words to your thoughts to get them from the mind to, like, the 3D, those around you. Which may also harm you in, like, arguments, debates. I get that you might be someone who works a lot with their words, so like maybe a lawyer. You might be someone in like the political sphere or working towards that. Or you might just be a very persuasive person, someone who is very good with the like gift of gab. Very mercurial. You're someone who can definitely move people, persuade people with just how you speak and what you say. You give this very impartial energy. Like, no matter who someone is, I feel like people would look at you and find that they would be judged fairly in your eyes. Very Libra energy. Might also be a cardinal sign. But I feel like you, because of this struggle, of this disconnect, and I'm also picking up on as I try to get my words out of my mouth. Very Pisces as well, yes. But because you struggle with this connection, brain to world connection, I'll call it, you kind of feel like you feel like other people disvalue you a lot more, which is unfortunate because I feel like the people around you especially are really appreciative of you, and this world is very appreciative of having you in it. You have a very unique view of different way of looking at things, of wording things, of putting things out there and doing things that not many people have seen or will see in their lifetime or will do like you. I mean, of course, no one will think or be like you, but I feel like yours is a perspective in particular that they are encouraging you to share. They want you to share. They want you to be out there and exploring and sharing your experiences with the world. Even if you don't think that they're all that special, all that interesting, even if you're not some adventurer, some person who's gone through hell and back and seen the ends of the earth, just because you're not like the most traveled human ever doesn't mean you don't have an experience to share that other people wouldn't relate to, that other people don't care about. It's not that you don't have thoughts that don't matter. It's just you need to find how to connect and where to connect. You have to find essentially what mediums you are comfortable in and how you are comfortable with sharing if you want to, actually pursue it. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in this transitory kind of spinning your wheels and going in circles energy. Which is very unfortunate because I really do feel it, that you are very much a very interesting character, Group 5. I'm very curious about you. Don't sell yourself short, buddy. Just slide those aside. Alright, 4 of Wands just threw itself at me. Stop real quick after I shuffle, take a sip. Group 5. What are you lying to yourself about? Group 5. What are you lying to yourself about? Group 5. What are you lying to yourself about? Group 5. What are you lying to yourself about? Group 5. Alright. What are you lying to yourself about? Group 5. Six of Wands on our bottom deck. Now I'm going to collect my road cards. Back here. I'll tell you when I fall. The Five of Pentacles that fell on the floor. Very interesting, very literal. The Page of Wands. Two of Pentacles. King of Wands. And Two of Cups in reverse. King of Wands is also reversed. I don't even know why I didn't say that. Absolutely. You are underselling yourself, Group 5. I feel like because, yeah, the disconnect, there might have also been picking up, whether this is current or past, a relationship and a partnership with a friend, with a person that made you undervalue yourself. Or, and this might be just a couple people, but there might have been a relationship that you got really involved in. You got like intertwined finances and like married status even. With that Libra energy, excuse me, that was my back or shoulder. But you may have taken a financial fall because you had a falling out with someone and it set you back in life, or it set your plans back because, you know, if you don't got a bunch of money, unfortunately this world revolves around cash, so you might have been set back and put in a position where you had to do menial labor, or you were out of a job and you had to work your way back up the career ladder, or you had to go back to school maybe because you wanted to pursue something else, and it made you feel very juvenile, very much like worthless is the first word I wanted to say, but I mean, yeah, kind of what I'm getting. But really, I feel like this was just a setback. This was kind of whatever the situation was, whether it was divorce and a falling out that left you very fiscally unstable, or if it was like going back to school, or if it was starting a new career, is another message I'm getting. Moving is a message. Starting over is the main message here. Is you were starting over either from scratch or from a lower status, and it made you undersell yourself. It made you not, it had you stop seeing the beauty in you. Like, you are a very powerful, very charming, charismatic person, very interesting. Like I said, you have stories to tell, you have such a gift with the gab. You're great to be around, great to collaborate with. And I feel like everyone around you who knows you can attest to that. You are great company. You're helpful whenever you can be. I feel like you are that friend who would give the shirt off their back if they could. But because of these setbacks, because of the talk in your ear, or maybe the memory of people who were not kind, who were toxic and talking trash to you, talking trash about you, that set the seed inside of you, and it made you uncertain. It made you uncomfortable with being proud of yourself, almost. Like, you don't like celebrating yourself. You are afraid to be braggadocious because what if I'm wrong? What if I'm just showing off for nothing? What if I'm showing off nothing? What if someone else is doing it better? And I mean, what if? Who cares? You're doing you. You're succeeding. You're on your journey. Let them celebrate them. Someone else celebrating is not raining on your parade. That's just two separate parades, and I love two parades. I would happily attend two parades in one day. Especially if they both got confetti. But yeah, you are just devaluing all you've built, all you've done, all you've come from. even though this really all should be like top of the newspaper, and read all about it. Everyone should be just bowing down to you and your strength and your resilience, your ability to tough it out, your ability to keep yourself sane, to keep yourself strong and steady and dedicated. Like, you might have gotten sidetracked, but I mean, life isn't linear. If you expect your life to go in a straight line, then I've got some unfortunate news for you. Oh boy. I feel like you are already aware of the fact that life isn't linear. Like, shit happens and bumps occur and roadblocks occur, but I feel like even though you were conscious of that and aware of that, it doesn't stop you from getting consumed by the process, getting hardened and turning cold, and losing touch almost with what it was that made you shine, that made you passionate, that drove you. This is very unfortunate, very interesting though. Let me hear more, please. Clarify the 5 of Pentacles for me, please, Spirit. Clarify the 5 of Pentacles. Thank you. Which one? Both? Alright. So we got the 4 of Swords. Here. Where did you go? You were standing perfectly. Temperance in reverse. Very pretty. Absolutely. We went through a period of imbalance, of unrest, where you had to bide your time, where you couldn't really act on things because circumstances, because you had other things to be prioritizing. I'm getting like you had dreams, big ideas, like I was saying before. You were a big dreamer, big thinker, very mercurial. You've got all these ideas and all of this passion and energy, but you couldn't manifest it into reality because circumstance, because I've got other things to do. I've got bigger fish to fry right now. Clarify the Page of Wands. I'm sighing for you. Clarify the Page of Wands for you, please. Thank you. Goodness. Cards keep throwing themselves on the floor like they refuse. Okay. Got the Queen of Cups in reverse. Absolutely. Clarify the 2 of Pentacles. Thank you. Got the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. Clarify the King of Wands for me, please. Lovers. Yeah. Clarify 2 of Cups, please. Thank you. Queen of Swords. Alright. We got the special cord. Absolutely. And we got the Well as our bottom deck, which is one of the cards exclusive to this deck. It is like an extension of the Major Arcana. It's very pretty. Right beneath it, we've got the Empress, which is what I was going to say. It said, gives me very Empress energy. Got a well full of abundance, of almost like a well full of possibilities, just kind of waiting. It also embodies that very watery energy, creative, Cancerian, motherly energy, which I feel like is what you've almost lost touch with. You've with the Queen of Cups in reverse and the Queen of Swords upright. With this relationship ending, this severing of ties, this souring of a bond, bridge burning, whatever happened where there was a connection that just did not work out, and it was better to let it die because I feel like it was very not helpful, very unhealthy. It did not instill any good values in you. The fact that the Queen of Swords is clarifying 2 of Cups tells me that it did not make you softer. It made you cold. It brought pain. It brought learning and experience, but it also brought heartache. It brought struggles, suffering. It brought you it made you stronger and more powerful. That's because you had to wield that sword. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And I mean, kudos to you for being strong enough to tough it out, but unfortunately, it did kind of like jade you a little. And it's taking you time. It's taken and it's taking you time to heal those wounds still, which I understand. A sour and shitty relationship can really leave that mark on you. That paranoia, that worry, that apprehension and fear towards people and towards your own emotions, even though you were just a very loving, abundant, overflowing character. You might have a heavy water in your chart, honestly, but you're a very creative, abundant, empathetic person, and it's a shame that some sour relationships make us cold and make us forget the joy of care and love and compassion and being around people who really do value you and cherish you for what you bring to the table. Yeah, big size, big fucking size. But the good news is, it's not like you've lost all this abundance and love and compassion. It's kind of just, he's just in a box. He's protecting. He's hiding. He's hibernating. You gotta go wake him up, which will take a little soul searching. You might need some time to yourself. If you're in a relationship, you might feel distant. You might need to talk to your partner about taking some space, maybe taking a little time off. I know that it's not me, it's you. I mean, it's not you, it's me. Speech is old and tired, but it really, right now, I feel like you need to focus on you. You need to make the choice to be with yourself and on your own. And this only applies if you are A, in a relationship, or B, in a partnership where you feel like there's too much expectation or too much need to perform, is what I'm getting. Of course, if you're in a partnership and you're perfectly comfortable and happy and like, nah, I don't need space, I'm not telling you to go dump your partner now. This is just, if you are in this space, this energy of like, I need some me time, because that's what I'm getting. Like with this Page of Wands and Queen of Cups, I really feel like you are in the urge to maybe travel solo, maybe take a road trip, just explore and really reconnect with what it is you're passionate about, what it is that drove you, that you love about the world, about yourself, about life. You've kind of just lost that zeal. The zeal's there. He needs to be reignited, though. I feel like on the way you're gonna meet people, pick up experiences, maybe even make some connections that'll not only just add to you and your life, but will add to overall just how you experience and how you look at yourself and the world. And I also see that this Two of Pentacles is clarified the Eight of Pentacles, and that adds to exactly 10 of Pentacles. So I'm really getting that, like, whatever it is in the physical sphere that you are balancing, that you're working on, you might, like I said, you might be going back to school, might be holding down some jobs, getting your business together, figuring out, getting skills, learning, experiencing, figuring out what works for you and what doesn't, testing, trial and error. No shame. That's very necessary right now, because that is the very first step to learning. Because once you figure out what does and doesn't work, then you start to research, you start getting into it, you get really into it, and then you start getting experience, and that takes you in one direction, two directions, and the world is yours. And before you know it, you've bought you got the whole pie together, and you've got a whole new experience, a new creation on your hands that you didn't even expect to have when you went into this journey. You're like, wow, where did this come from? We've got all of this out of just this one idea, out of just stepping out of this energy, stepping away and stepping into what there could be, the ideas and the passion and the drive and the overflow of energy that it just waits for you along the horizon. Now I'm just rambling. Alright, I'm gonna get you some advice from a couple of oracle decks. Second. On the bottom, we've got the remembrance. I need water for this, Jimmy. All right. The remembrance. Memory, self-image, and compassion. Take time today to look through the photographs of your life, focusing on your childhood. Gaze at each image and let yourself feel for your inner child what they needed most at that time. Be it love, acceptance, or just companionship. I can't read, I'm sorry. I'm just a dyslexic boy. And then we've got the warrior in reverse. Intuition, stealth, and determination. Now is the time to be for yourself, to stand up for who you are and what you believe in, and to protect the vulnerable places within you that are still in the process of healing. Do not be afraid. Know that you are worth it, all of it. What did I just say? It's in reverse, though. You've been doing this. You are working on it, and you've had the idea, the feeling, the urge to do it. But I feel like you doubted it. You were like, nah, I'll do it later. I got other priorities. No, this is the priority. You need to be doing this. Stop ignoring it. Stop looking away from it. Because I feel like if it's not that you saw something that triggered like a photograph that triggered a memory that made you feel like this, maybe from a past relationship or from your youth, your childhood, and then it was a thought, you just remembered something off the blue, or ran into someone from the past that brought back memories that made you really pause and stop and think. Maybe it even shook you. It made you really like emotional, put you in a mood, made you snippy, you know. It might have really affected you, this memory or this person or this encounter. And that's kind of spirits like telling you like, hey, it triggered you. That's something that probably you should do something about that. Work on it. Don't just ignore it and just let it fester. That's how you get gangry. Definitely, for sure. Alright, here's a couple cards against humanity cards, just to round this out. Oh, I saw one backwards. Who are you? Who's that Pokemon? Two of them. You those two want to come with me to the reading? Yes. Alright, so we got flying sex snakes. I mean, that's terrifying. So that's already experienced. And then, what does that say? Binging and purging in reverse. Very interesting. I'm going to shuffle this one more time and then get to the cards. Interesting song that's come on. I'm going to link the song that I'm listening to right now on in your section in the description, because you might, I don't know, you might connect with it. But it's Japanese, so I'm not going to try and sing it right now. A couple cards for group 5, please, Spirit. Anything else for group 5, please, Spirit? Thank you. And the bottom of the deck is God reversed. So you might have religious trauma that has been brought back up, or you've been reminded of. Or it might just be, I'm getting inferiority that you're healing. exactly what you'd expect in reverse. And dick fingers in reverse. Yeah. I feel like this is definitely wounds on the ego and the heart. These are deep wounds. Like, this is definitely something that has been instilled in you either from like a long relationship or from your younger years, or something you were exposed to frequently, something very traumatic that happened. Yeah, exactly what you'd expect in reverse. It might have been something very sudden and unexpected, a trauma, a death, just a story that really affected you maybe. Something that occurred very out of the ordinary, very uncomfortable, that had a very profound effect on you that either has continued forward or you were reminded of, and it might have brought back unhealthy habits, unhealthy behaviors and thought patterns that you are trying to still get through. Please, if you are struggling with anything mental health related, contact a mental health professional if you can. At the very least, writing about it. Always writing, getting out the thoughts is better than letting them just sit up there and bounce around, because they'll just multiply. They are annoying, they're disgusting, they're like virus. You gotta Lysol those shits. But I feel like you feel very low of yourself and you aren't really sure what to do. You kind of like, you have exhausted all the ways that you usually deal, and you're still just circling the drain and suffering. And at that point, that's definitely the time to call on help. And if you have people talking in your ear who are telling you, no, this is normal, this is fine, then you don't need those people around. Those people need to keep their opinions to themselves. Take their opinions and put them back in your pocket. And just Group 5, please take care of yourselves. You need and deserve only the best, and I'm sorry that you are struggling, have been struggling, and are dealing with this. I wish you all the best and all the healing. Thank you for tuning in to this reading, and I hope you have a great day. I like this video. If you would like to, check out the description for a private reading or for that song I was talking about, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello, Group 6, and welcome. Welcome, finally. Been a minute. If you chose this, a fluorite pyramid, then this is your group. I love this piece. I'm going to put him right over here. And we are asking Spirit Fate about what we are lying to ourselves about. So we got 2 of the supernatural creatures. We got Cerberus. Huh. Interesting. And Duty. Cute, isn't he? And Ifrit with power. Got the hummingbird in reverse. Clear quartz. And it says clarity, healing, endless possibilities. And shapeshifter in reverse. It says transform and unveil your gifts. At the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn reverse. And sea turtle. This is beginning, self-reliance, journey, and home. Interesting. you have a very adaptable energy, very powerful. You might excuse me. You might have a cardinal sign as one of your sun, moon, or inner planets, which is Mercury, Venus, Mars, or ascendant. Yeah, that's not a planet. That's a part of your chart. 1 second, I'm gonna take some drink of water. Delightful. Well, you've got a very strong, powerful energy, for sure. And you have to, I feel like, if anything, endure, take on a lot. I'm getting almost that, like, you understate how much you do. Like, yeah, you're a very adaptable. If you're not a cardinal, you might have a strong mutable energy. Cardinal is Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. Capricorn, yeah. And mutable is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius. I missed the water sign. Pisces. There we go. Of course I missed Pisces, and it took me a minute to connect to it, because we're in Pisces still. We're moving right out of it. But yeah, you are definitely someone who can mold to various positions very easily. You are up to the task. If someone asks something of you, you are, how can I help you? If someone says jump, you're like, how high? And I feel like it's it's a double-edged sword. Like, everyone definitely appreciates all the energy, the ideas, the input that you bring to the table. But I feel like it might drain you, and you might need just kind of putting that on back burner, like, oh, whatever, I'm tired, but I'll just get through it. If I keep clearing my throat, you might have to struggle with, like, saying no, telling people, setting boundaries, like, especially if you wear yourself down, wear yourself out, and then people want more out of you. You feel bad about telling them no, because you're like, well, I mean, I could do it. Especially, this is a habit of mine. You might have messages in another group too, but especially if you call off an obligation, like work or something. Goodness, see? And you keep, 1 second. Pardon me, back, but as I was saying, if you might, like, say, call off an obligation like work, or like you might have made plans with someone that you call off at the end, like right before you have to go in, or right before you go, you're supposed to meet them, and you end up doing something else, or like you're not like bed stricken with illness, but you still go do errands, or you go, mind your business, go on a little treat yourself or something. You kind of feel bad, and you're like, oh, well, I could have done this, I could have helped them, I could have given this, I could have done that, I could have spent my time here. I had the ability to, but I didn't. It's like, yeah, but you don't have to dedicate your every waking moment to taking care of everyone else and making sure everyone else is got theirs. Give you yours sometimes. Take it easy. I keep looking at the sea turtle thinking of Crush from Finding Nemo. I think you need to embody his energy a little bit more. Be a little bit more chill. Righteously accepting is what I wanted to say, but yeah, chill. You're very self-reliant, and I feel like it might just be because you have to, if not because you don't have like support systems, or you've come from not having support systems. But just because you're self-reliant doesn't mean you can't give yourself a break. If you're self-reliant, that means you are your referee, which means you have to be the one to call those shots. I feel like I rambled like in 3 different directions and I didn't finish the thought, but alright, that's big energies that I'm getting here, so we're going to move right to the tarot. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, please don't fall off the desk, though. I don't want to find you. Good choice in decks, group 6. The Ghibli deck is one of my favorites. Not just because I got it for free. One of 2 decks I've got for free. The other being my first deck. I'll have to link the owner's shop. I'm not sure if she's still selling these, actually. I went on her shop and looked, and I didn't see them. But I'll link her shop regardless, because she's got a lot of really good decks. And you could probably message her and be like, hey, I saw someone had a Ghibli deck. They said you made it. But I kind of get a price, you know. I'm sure she wouldn't mind special printing you one. Tell her I sent ya. Alright, group 6. What are you lying to yourself about group 6? What are you lying to yourself about group 6? Group 6, what are you lying to yourself about? Okay. Group 6, what are you lying to yourself? You're lying to yourself about. Group 6, what are you lying to yourself about? Those came out all sorts of ways. Got the Knight of Wands in reverse. That makes sense. Queen of Swords right beneath that. Absolutely. Saw the Knight of Wands falling to the desk. Let me go grab that. There he is. Three of Cups. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And the Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah, absolutely. Very self-reliant energy, especially with that Queen of Swords just peeking out beneath the Knight of Wands. You are very tired, but you kind of keep running. You're like running on empty, essentially, running on fumes. And it's not... I feel like it's not because you don't have good people in your life. With the Three of Cups, I see you very joyous, very happy with the people around you. It's good situations. It just feels like there's not the kind of people that you can maybe like rely on, is what I'm thinking, is what I'm feeling. Or at least that's what you feel. You feel like there's not people around you that you can lean on, that you can really, like, if you needed something from someone, that you could put that weight on them. I'm not saying that, like, you want to be, with the Ace of Pentacles especially, I'm not saying, like, you want to be relying on people and, like, taking from them, take, and just needy. That's not the kind of energy you give. Especially with the Queen of Swords, you are very self-reliant, self-powered, self-motivated. Take care of yourself. And if you don't need to borrow something or take from someone, you won't. But on the other hand, I feel like there's also this blockage because you feel like maybe it's like a fear of yours that you don't want to take from people and have them see you as like needy or greedy. Like you don't want to start giving that perception by relying on them or just asking of them in any way. And I feel like this is a misperception. This is definitely a misperception in your mind, because like just because you ask a friend for something like money or help with transportation or help with a situation, advice, you know, vent to them sometimes. So long as you're not like treating them as your therapist, your piggy bank, your parent, I feel like it's fine. Especially since it seems like you guys have good rapport. You guys are communicative. You're very happy and healthy in these relationships. It's just like this block on you. It's stopping you. You're like, I don't know. I'm very like apprehensive, very worried, afraid. You might have had experience in the past where someone told you, like, that it was too much, that you were being too much, that asking the bare minimum was too much, and that kind of instilled that fear. Like, dang, I don't want to reach out and be too much now. I don't want to push them away by asking for XYZ. Or maybe this Knight of Wands was someone or that experience who either did this to you or instilled that fear in you. Very interesting group 6. Let me grab a sip of water real fast. I swear, I just filled this water bottle up. I'm very thirsty. I need to drink more water. Group 6. Can I get clarification on the 9 of Wands, please, Spirit? Clarify the 9 of Wands for me, please. Thank you. Yeah, we got the 9 of... I'm dyslexic as fuck. The 4 of Wands in reverse. This looks like the 9 of Cups card a little. Clarify the 3 of Cups, please, Spirit. Got the Queen of Wands in reverse. Clarify the Ace of Pentacles for me, please. Oop, thank you. 4 of Swords in reverse. Clarify the Ace of Cups for me, please, Spirit. Alright, that one card. Yes, it was. I thank you. And we got the Moon. And the bottom deck is the 5 of Swords. Very interesting, for sure. It's almost like you are very much the person, the stoic, the Queen of Swords, like I said before, and this vulnerability, this, you know, putting the weight on someone else for once and letting your guard down and being weak, vulnerable, open about your struggle, your need, your not having it all together, essentially. It's hard. I mean, understandable. It's scary. It's not fun letting people know that, no, despite appearances, I'm not as cool and glamorous as I look all the time, especially if maybe you have like a social media presence or you only meet like friends and specific people under like certain circumstances. Like you'll only meet people when you've gotten all dolled up, or you'll only meet people outside of your house because your house is messy or something, or yeah, you'll only meet them under certain very specific scenarios because you don't want almost like your whole facade to unravel. But Spirit's kind of urging you to let it unravel. It's time. It's necessary. It'll it'll make you happier. It'll lead to a better outcome. It'll lead to better people. If the people in your life don't support you, and if you're like if you're real down bad, like let's say like a hoarding problem, or you're mentally ill and you're struggling and you need like a support or friend, and they don't like direct you towards support or, you know, give you support, then like they suck. And if they don't understand that you need time and space or like help and healing, then they suck. They're not good for you. I mean, there's a difference between like if you're being like very, and this is, I'm getting it specifically because Queen of Wands sometimes, especially reverse, comes out as kind of like a manipulative, toxic kind of energy. So this is very specific. If this fits you, don't, you know, take it as it goes, especially with the 5 of Swords. If you're being unhealthy and like mentally ill, and like I get it, mental illness makes you do stupid, terrible things, but if you're being unhealthy, if you're being toxic, if you're being, you know, that guy, like BoJack Horseman kind of person, then I cannot fault, and you cannot fault people for wanting to maybe distance from them. Especially if you start doing some crazy wild things, or you've done some things. If they end up kind of like realizing like, oh, this is bad, this is real bad, or you do something, or you did something that was kind of like, okay, yeah, this was a line that got crossed. You can't really, you can understand, like, understandably, they give them space, and they, if they come back into your life and you guys make up and apologize and stuff, that's that. But sometimes you mess up, sometimes you lose friends. Trust me, if I had $1. But yeah, it happens, Feelings get hurt sometimes when you care and have emotions and they're involved and you're passionate. But yeah, that might only apply to a couple of you, but take out of that. But for the most part, I'm getting that you are rather good people. You just, you might suffer from mental health issues, possibly. You might suffer from self-confidence struggle. Self-deprecation might be a big problem of yours, I'm getting. Even if you are a super great person. Because, like, I feel like you're awesome. Especially your friends think you're awesome. Everyone sees you and you're, like, a big, cool energy. But, like, you might just be, like, really tightly wound trying to keep that image up. And it sucks, and you shouldn't have to. But, take a step back. Take a break. You don't have to keep going all the time. You don't have to keep burning the candle at both ends, tall child. Don't be afraid to set boundaries, to say no to requests and favors and errands. Take some time for you. Spoil you. Get back to what makes you happy and what you need and want out of life, out of yourself, out of your friends. And if they support you and love you, they will be with you on this journey. It's never too late to mend relationships. It's never too late to mend relationships specifically with yourself. But in your relationships, it's also never too late to change things for the better. Interesting, very interesting. Great messages. I cannot speak English suddenly. But great messages for your group 6. More water, always more water. I'm going to shuffle a card from this inner child order deck. Group 6 spirit. And one card for group 6. Advice for group 6. One card advice for group 6. Thank you. Got 2 cards left. So first I'm going to read the bottom deck because I have them in hand. Got the Grateful. Gratitude, joy, and abundance. Gratitude is the door that welcomes you into the land of milk and honey. Take time today to remember that all you have to be thankful for, allowing your feelings of gratitude to overflow every part of your being with dazzling warmth. That's delightful. I feel warm. I feel warm. Ain't that something? I feel like that's how your friends and family see you. And sometimes you just don't see it, if not a lot. A lot of the time. Okay, so you've got the meditation. I want to hold that so you can see it better. The meditation. And the weeping tree. Alright. The weeping tree says release, rejuvenation, and restoration. Now is the time to let go of that which does not serve you anymore. Free the pent-up energy within you. Breathe deeply and let your body relax fully, merging with space and time. Let it all die so that you may blossom once more. And the meditation says visualization, inner realms, and the mind's eye. Take time today to meet with your inner child. Close your eyes and see them with your mind's eye, regardless of the state they're in. Embrace them, listen to them, and provide them with unconditional love today. Yeah, I feel like you've definitely been lacking in the self-care, self-love, prioritizing self over other people's feelings, over other people's needs, over what would benefit the community. And I feel like the community is definitely, if not ready to pay back, it should definitely think about getting its cash together real quick because it owes you a big favor or three. And if you cannot get that care and support from the people around you, from your friends, family, loved ones, one, screw them, but also, like, I understand sometimes, money's tight and you can only do so much and life sucks and struggle. But also, if you can't even lend, like, a supportive ear once in a while, like, screw you. But also, this is reminding you that whatever, even if you don't have the biggest net of 3D people, to lean on, then you have yourself, and you can take care of yourself. Go into yourself. Take care of yourself. You want to try meditation. You might want to do some journaling. Get your emotions, those feelings out on a page so you can feel and see how you're feeling. And it actually helps you cope and get, your thoughts together, your feelings together coherently. Especially if something's been nagging at you, something's been bothering you, but you couldn't really place it. With that moon energy, that Pisces, or something that might be like right under the surface. It might have stemmed especially from your childhood that you don't even really understand or not acknowledge entirely. You might want to do some inner child meditation specifically, some inner child healing, just in general shadow work would be great. But if no one else will take care of you, take care of yourself. Spoil yourself, treat yourself, and make sure that you are your top priority always. Because you can't take care of other people if you are worn down to enough. Alright, group 6. Getting some Cards Against Humanity cards for our final deck. Final advice from Spirit. Group 6. Can I get some advice for Spirit? Advice for group 6. Oh wow, we actually pulled the cards today. Advice for group 6 apparently. Our bottom deck is God in reverse. You are not God. That is the message I got. You are no God. You are just a human. I also heard that the line from Spider-Man, you do too much, you're not Superman, Got 6 cards for group 6. Nice. Love that. Okay, so we got Stranger Danger in reverse. Kids with ass cancer. Another group got that one. Chunks of Dead Prostitute in reverse. Okay. A Falcon with a cap on its head in reverse. A live studio audience in reverse. And an ugly face in reverse. I got a couple messages here. Well, first for this one, very interesting message. If you've ever seen, I'm sure you've seen it, you've heard of it at least, Rick and Morty. In the 5th season that came out, there was an episode where, I think it was a couple episodes, where Rick replaced, I almost called him Jerry, Morty with 2 crows. And that was the first thing I thought of, is that you felt like, if I disappeared, I could be easily replaced with a falcon with a cap on his head, and no one would even blink. And that's definitely not true. You are an irreplaceable, special, unique person, and especially in the hearts of your loved ones. And you do a lot more than you think. You matter a lot more, and you have a lot more weight and, I wanted to say clout, but yeah, you have a lot more weight and emotional impact there. I think that's what I'm looking for. Than you think you do. You might not be a celebrity, and you know, if you were to disappear, you know, everyone in the world might not stop and be like, oh no, but you know, your corner of the world would. It would suck. They'd miss you. You do a lot, and they want to see you thrive and happy. I also get that you don't see yourself as the lovely as everyone else does, even like other people that don't know you. I feel like people walking down the street, even if they don't know you, they might not. You might not be. I'm not saying you're ugly, but I'm saying you might not be the most standout supermodel, drop dead, gorgeous human. But I feel like people think, oh, that's a nice human. They have a nice insert detail about their appearance, or even just like they have a nice energy. I like them. That they seem neat. They'd be a cool friend. I feel like that's a thought people have a lot about you walking down the street. You'd be a great friend. You seem like a cool person to be around. And people kind of like, dang, I wish I could get to know that person. I'm also not swearing that much in this one. You might be someone who doesn't swear a lot. Or you might be someone who makes like, I make colorful euphemisms a lot. Like, dang, darn it. You know, stuff like that. Silly euphemisms and stuff like that. I couldn't think of a good one, I'm sorry. But, I feel like you give voted most likely to be best friend material, and I like that. I love that. Definitely undervalue and undersell yourself though. So group 6, I need you to get that self-confidence on some 100, much better. Take care of yourself, love yourself, treat the world like your audience, and show off for everyone and yourself at the same time. Just turn up, man, because you've got all this ability, all this potential, all these ideas and feelings, and I feel like skills too. That Ace of Pentacles in reverse, all these untapped skills and potential that you have not even, or you just deny or ignore that you even hold this, just because, you know, you might not be great at it, it might not be perfect yet, but you know, you're getting there, you got it, it's on a roll. Just keep at it. I'm rooting for you, Group 6. I want to see you make something of yourself. Alright, I think that is what I've gotten for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for liking this video, subscribing if you want it. Got personal readings linked in the description. I'll have a website up sooner than later. Leave any suggestions for readings in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.